Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news with thanks to SayIntentions. We check out the Dassault Rafale C, a Taylorcraft BC-12D, a Lancair Legacy, and Kalymnos. Hello there. Hello? Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Tonight we have the news and the solar eclipse. Did you see it? If you didn't have cloud, did you see it? I saw a little bit of it. Not much though. It was an eclipse. Yeah. That's all I have. Hope you're all keeping well. Tonight, yes, there is not an awful lot of news, but we do have some very fancy add-ons. The wallet is not safe tonight, no, and we'll show you why here now in a few moments. But I hope you're all keeping well. Right on the heels, we were over on the Vectors to Final with SayIntentions, having a chat with Brian about all the things going on over at SayIntentions.ai. We got a bit of a catch me up since Flight Sim Expo and a glimpse rather into the future. Ooh, and I have to say it looks terribly impressive. You guys hear those new voices? Ooh, amazing, like incredible accents, and they're coming soon, which is terribly exciting. And he also alluded to some other things they're still working on X-Plane with, injected traffic, which could be huge, right? And of course all those voices that we'll see will also be pushed on to both Microsoft Flight Sim and of course with X-Plane as well. So they're absolutely flat out busy, and it's just so great to see. They've been flat out. But yes, we'll cover the few bits there as well. As I said, not an awful lot of news, relatively quiet, but it's all good because we've plenty of add-ons. The wallet is not safe, as I said. So anyway, who's here? Look, by the way, it's 25 degrees. 25. It was 27 earlier on. It's 25 degrees in the man cave. It's quite warm. It's amazing what 3 degrees do. 3 degrees. I'll be turning on the aircon. I'll be turning it back on in a few minutes, but for the moment we'll leave it off. But you're all very welcome in. Did you have a good day? CP65 is here. Good to see you. Chalks, welcome aboard. Vacuum is here. Welcome in, lads. Elric, good evening. Let me see here now. Jabuttons. Commander Balosh, hope all is well. APU Inspector's here, welcome aboard. And, very happy Wednesday to you. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. Jand Wolfie, welcome in, man. APU Inspector, checking in. Good man yourself. Airlock Duck, good evening, peoples. And for all of you that looked up this evening without protection, hello, as well as thanks to Murph for reading it out. Right. Sumner's checking in from Milwaukee, good to see you. Sprockets, hello, good evening. Super Typhon, good shout. We've added it to our newsage tonight, buddy. Sunjammer's here. Now we get eclipsed by Murph. No, what a shirt. Don't go about the shirt. It's all grand. Don't be worrying about the shirt now. She'll be grand. Do you know what I did now, right? So our stream last night, I went about trying to fix the clarity of screens inside the aircraft. Everything else looks fairly okay, but the screens, when you're zoomed out, it's all messed. And I know why it's happening. Yeah, right, I'm in a very unique kind of a setup whereby I'm pushing 4K 120 hertz into a capture card, which is passed onto me monitor, onto me LG C1 OLED screen, and it's all terribly nice. The problem is the capture card can barely kind of keep up with it, hence we get this weird sort of artifacting. So I said, right, I armed myself with false bravery and I tried to fix it, and I was there till about 5 o'clock this morning. I didn't fix it. In actual fact, it broke many things trying to fix it. I used a different capture card. I used different things. All sorts of science was deployed. And after all of that, I'm back to exactly where I was. So I can't fix it. It is a limitation of the technology, and we'll have to come up with another plan. I'm looking into all other sorts of ideas of how to make the screens a little bit sharper. Do you know? We'll see how, we'll see how it goes. But that's what I was up to last night, till stupid o'clock. Do you ever just get do you ever get stuck into something, you know?
That's a big 10 for good money.
You're acting the age of trying to fix something that isn't really broken, but you know there's something with it, and you spend your entire evening, night, and most of the next morning trying to figure it out. To come to the final line in the sand, you shouldn't have touched it. Now you're up to date, you know, in my world, and that's what, you know. Jesus. But that's what I got up to yesterday. But anyway, Sunjammer, yes, you're very welcome in. Tarnish Mossman is here. Happy birthday, by the way, to Tarnish Mossman. Welcome in, buddy. Sprockets, good evening. Fierce Wolf is checking in from Ponoka County. Ooh, nice. Malky checking in as well. Good to see you, bud. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Wednesday. Jalagod is here. Latka is here. Welcome in. Mrs. TPHI, the one upside down person in the entire room, has rambled in. Good to see you, Mrs. Alric says, happy top of the week. Time for the newsage. Indeed, and it is. Sir Camsalot, my dude, how's she cutting, man? Were you out enjoying the weather? Stubby, good to see you. A very happy Wednesday. Viper Strike is here. Breaking news. Mrs. GBHI will take the reins as the new head of Firefly Air. First mandate, according to her, liveries updated to bright pink and upside down. It's change of management, yes. It was clear all day over Brum, then the eclipse starts in rows of clouds. Yeah, it was cloudy like here. It got a little bit dim, dark, you know, dim. And then, yeah, that was it. But we can go back in Flight Sim. Yes, we can actually witness this in Microsoft Flight Sim without having to worry about sunglasses. Brilliant, right? Technology. Did you see the eclipse? Did I? You know, I stood on the cliffs of Moher in the sim, but you don't tell them the sim part, you know. Really? Oh, yeah. Really dedicated to seeing the celestial event. Yeah, brilliant, you know. But anyway, the Impossible Face, hello again. I got the side stick mounted to my desk. Just need to get the throttle done and SimApp Pro on my control bindings. Pain in the hoop, so I'm stopping for pizza. Yes. Would you like to know more? Tell us more about this pizza. Uniform Goose, good to see you, Goose. Welcome in. 98 Vulcan, 100 streams in a row. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. That's insane. The Dameranian, welcome in. Hope all is well. AZ Blue Line is here. I'm Pierce, good evening. Linny Bobbins. It's herself. It is herself. It's good to see you, Linny. Eamon 1973. See where we're going to empty your wallets. Yeah, right. What is going to empty your wallets? There's lots of them tonight. Terrifying. Blinky, good evening. What is the news of the realm? We shall find out together. We will explore the news of the realm together, you and I and friends. But yes, Toto2495. Good day, Toto. He says, hello again, Fireflies. Watching from the other man cave tonight. Ooh, beep, beep. Hello to you and the missus. Stu Snape is here. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Wednesday. Idle Cutoff is here. Cambridge calling. You're very welcome aboard. Two Dogs, greetings from Wisconsin. Hello from Tipperary. TG Sims is here. Good evening, Murph. Looking forward to this week's news. Well, thank you very much indeed. Great to see you, pal. Will this be a continuation of the Say Intention show from earlier? Asks Old Veteran 965. We'll certainly cover it. It's mad, like the amount of work. And we kind of got a bit of an idea from Brian, like, but like the the amount of work that the lads put into everything that they're doing, it's insane. Like, it's absolutely class. And there was some really good questions as well from the chat. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Skip is here. Good to see you, Skip. Welcome aboard. Lurking for the news. Good man, Sumner. Good man yourself. Muse fan is here. Bursts in the door with his index finger. Ooh, he says how he is. His man jokes. His happy hump day. Good to see you, Muse. Hope you're well. JP Gaming is here. Exo Giant. Welcome aboard. Who be this now? Tarbatness. Welcome aboard. And thank you very much indeed for 2 months with Prime, you absolute legend. Mac Vision, good evening. Martel is in the house. Good to see you, bud. North Coast Mike, a very good evening. Litorius is here. Visualize, welcome aboard. Now, let me see. Happy Eclipse Day. Just Roy, welcome in, buddy. Did you get to see it from the Netherlands? I imagine you did. Piku is here. Long time no seen. An hour ago. Yeah, brilliant. I had a costume change and everything. I changed me socks. Right. Upshift, good to see you. Jesus, he says. Welcome in. Bell Bro, a very happy Wednesday. Crotty is here. It clouded up here for the eclipse. Met Aaron, they'd planned it. It was all Jerry Murphy high. And sure, if you're looking out down now to see the eclipse, sure, we're going to block it with clouds. You won't be able to see it at all. Oh. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Stubby, welcome in. Zith is in the house. Good to see you, Zith. Captain Berg, good evening. Captain Kenobi, bonsoir, monsieur. Hope you're well. Who else? Dougal McTavish, the chairman. Good to see you, Dougal. Hope all is well. Saw you over on the Say Intention stream as well. Good to see you, bud. Strap21, oh lad. D White, checking in from Sligo. BJ, there's buttons. Right. There's loads of buttons. Kill Switch, thank you very much indeed for 9 months. Cheers, buddy. Lads, I really appreciate all the support. Thanks a million. These are absolutely brilliant. Skip says, how can you break so many things so quickly with such small hands? You'd be surprised. I break so many things. The good news is I've actually cleared up one display port out of me graphics card because I didn't realise I could actually run my little screen down here from the CPU. Let's see how that goes. You know, I reckon we'll be fine, but if it breaks, I'll now know to blame MuseFan. It'll be grand. GotFriends are in the chat. Good to see you, man. And yeah, we get to show off the Taylorcraft tonight. It's still work in progress. Release date a little bit later, but you get to see the aircraft in action, and oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous and dangerous at the same time. We'll be checking it out. But yes, Goblin Zeus, a very good evening. Just watched the solar eclipse. Excellent weather. You lucky duck. Yeah, some places in Ireland had great views of it. Some not so great. Do you know? Stick Figure is here. Good to see you. Where's this now? Tarnish. Brilliant. Lurking while I take off from a delightfully named Flin Flon in Manitoba. Flin Flon? Did they wear flip-flops in Flinton? Lenny Brooks, good evening. Steve C. from Chicago. 100-mile-an-hour winds through the neighbourhood yesterday. What? Whoa. Hope you're well, bud, and stay safe. Jesus, there's buttons going on over on YouTube. Dextro Gaming. A very good evening to you. Sim Guy has pressed a button and it's all gone bananas over on YouTube. Thank you very, very much indeed, Sim Guy. We'll have a look at those now in a moment. You behave. Just finished mounting me throttle to the desk. Come on, Scott. Be Janie then. Oh. Lusty is here. How are you getting on? Welcome aboard. Peter, good to see you. Watch the eclipse in the sim. Almost perfect match. Isn't it mad that we can do that? Zit told us yesterday. He says, he said if you set the time and date to tomorrow or go back in time, you'll see it. Worked out really well. But yes, Hayden UK. Good to see you, Hayden. You're looking well. Flying Tonight is here. It got dark, it got light again. Total anticlimax. Right, it'd be grand. So question for Say Intentions, can we stack the discounts? I wouldn't think so.
Can I get a refund?
No, shag off, there's no refunds. Yeah, right. I wouldn't think so, Scott. I don't know. I doubt it, though. P.S. Brandai. Oh, hello there. Good to see you, bud. I need to hiccup or something. I'm all right now. Cyrus T, the man of teal who has an emote that shuffles his shoulders, has subscribed for tier 3, 51 months, man. Yeah, absolute mad lad. Cyrus, thank you very, very much indeed for your support, buddy. It's appreciated. Joe crashed. Good to see you, Joe. Jesus, Joe. I mean, should you change it to Joe is constantly crashing? Or, is it... Right. Poor old devil. Oh, there's more of it, look. Jesus, what's going on in the tube? The tube are outdoing the Twitch, look. Black Sheep Gene. So we got Sim Guy with 5, and now we're after getting Black Sheep Gene with 10 of them. 10! gifted memberships over on the tube. Lads, if you got 5, 1 of 5 from Sim Guy or 1 of 10 from Black Sheep Gene, do be sure to say thank you. And also, you behave. Yeah, right. Bit of that. Now, let me see. Cambridgeshire, not a cloud in the sky, superb view of the eclipse, says Idle Cut Off. Ooh, nice. Speaking of breaking things, my keyboard stopped working earlier. I had to do a hard reboot. No way. CP.
Oh, behave.
Is it wired? Or, the good thing about the small hands is being able to get them into small places. I don't have small hands. Scott, check off, will you? Well, no. Do you ever try and put in a USB that you can't see where it goes and it's in there somewhere?
Oh, behave.
These are real life problems. Roy says, I just posted some photos of the eclipse on the photo channel. Ooh. And tonight the Perseids are also visible. Interesting. Captain Kenobi can't wait to fly the Taylorcraft. Big fan of GotFriends. Yes. They're absolutely back to the roots of this one, I think. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Devil Fly is here from Southern California. Good to see you, buddy. You're welcome in. Killswitch says, as a Springbok, and you're wearing an Ireland rugby shirt, are we going to talk about the... No, we're not, because Ireland is superior. Listen, it's like this. Ireland kind of said to the South Africans, you're a great bunch of lads. I tell you what, we're going to let you win for a while. We got tired of it. Yeah, we were jaded of all the winning with rugby. So we said, in South Africa, you take over. But one of these days, we're going to pick up the phone. Hello, Springbok? Yeah, it's us. Yeah, we're winning again. Yeah, any day now, No date fixed. But it'll happen. In me head. But yes, evening, this is going to get expensive. Energizer, this is the stream you shouldn't have tuned into because it's going to cost you. It's going to cost everyone tonight because our add-ons we're showcasing are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, right? Now, buttons over here, look. Kevin Byrne, good to see you. Hope all is well. You got to watch the eclipse from Drogheda earlier on. Oh, nice. Shuffle Shoes, good to see you, man. AJH John. Northland Air is here. A very good evening. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome back, Dave. Hope all is well. Monty is in the house. Flyboy Dyer is here. Black Sheep Jean says, me wallet is screaming like a greased pig. Sim Guy, good evening. Hope all is well. Good afternoon all from Asagi, Ohio. Wind and rain and everything, I'd say. But you're very welcome in. Sarah Doman is here. Good to see you. T-Break, we got the new Moza A320 MCDU today. It is really big. Oh, it's excellent. I'll be showcasing that now soon on the channel. It's pretty cool. When you compare it to the wind control Moza, if you're in the market, the Moza one it's all the bells and whistles, lads. It's just different. It's very good. Gaston, good evening. Eddie is in the house. You're also in Ohio. There you are now. Between the pair of the lads now in Ohio, they're having the crack. Kubi Montana, good to see you. 420 The Moose, a very happy Wednesday. Legion Johnny, good to see you, Johnny. Angels 15 is in the house. Johnny Mon. Johnny, good to see you. I can confirm on the Chicago Pirate from yesterday, it was insane. Lost me power for 5 hours. Jesus, Johnny. 100 mile an hour winds. Madness. Dextro Gaming, good evening. I'll see your 5 and raise you 5. Gene and Sim Guy, lads, thank you very, very much indeed. Mrs. GPHI, also over on the tube. Thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Only push the like button if you're upside down, right? Kieran Nile is here. Good to see you, Kieran. Happy Wednesday. Great to see so many people, lads. You're looking well. Shall we get into it? As I said, there's not an awful lot of news, but it's more showcasing the lovely things we get to showcase. So I'll press some buttons. There's 1, there's 2, and I might turn on me aircon because it's 1,000 degrees in here, lads. Right. Where's this now? I just dropped the credit limits to $1 on all my credit cards to protect myself. Good man, Sumner. That's how it's done. But immediately on the screen, you're met with something that needs to be in your life. Yeah, right. If there's a soundtrack that could accompany this aircraft, it would have to be only one, and like a really good one at that. Yeah, I'm just saying, right? It's absolutely gorgeous looking. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is the Dassault Rafale, the C variant of it from AzurPoly. New release to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it is absolutely insane. We're going to take it for a showcase tonight.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Check it all out, and we'll do a quick flight in it. As we're also checking out other aircraft. As I said, we have the Taylorcraft. We also have the steam gauge Lancair Legacy, and of course the beautiful backdrop, which is Kalymnos here in Greece. Isn't it only beautiful? Look at the state of that. Can we just admire how good that looks? The plane as well, of course, right? Unbelievable. Creo, good to see you. Hope you're well. New is night. Thank you very much indeed for 19 months. Dude, thank you so much. The generosity of you lot is absolutely nuts. Lads, thanks a million. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to fight down this goal thingy toward the end of the month. There's sub points. Basically, for me, right, the business side, Twitch does a split, as in, the creator gets X amount, they get Y amount, right? And tier 1, the split is 60-40. I get 60, they get 40, I think. But anyway, we're for the last 2 months in a row, we've hit a tier 2 standard, right? And this month we're on target. She's looking well. If we get 3 of them in a row, we get promoted up to a tier 2, which is basically a 70% cut to me and 30% back to the platform, which is very nice. It means I can spend money on silly things that aren't really important, like a toothpick that has both a torch and a comb. Just think of how your life will be better. So I really do appreciate all the support, lads. But don't worry at all if you're not in a position. It's never been a requirement of the stream. It helps, but it's never been a requirement. So yes, thank you very much indeed. Right, yes, this machine, we're going to check it out here now in a couple of moments. But what I want to do, we're going to start off with this week's news. And we've a little bit, not too many tabs on the screen, so we'll get through this fairly lively, and we'll see how we get on, right? So this is going on right now over on the MSFS official channel, where they have a showcase, a detailed showcase with the developers, working title, and I&I builds, because Microsoft's Boeing 707, the do-over, the one that they released and everyone went, it has gotten considerable work done over the last couple of months, and it has now been released into the sim. I have yet to fly this machine. We might check it out next week. There is a dev stream on right now, and they're basically going through the features and all the bits of jobs that they've added to it. So, as it says from MSFS add-ons.com, and a shout out to Vasco for the wonderful work that he does, publishers rarely admit a product missed, and paying a different team to build the whole thing again is even more rare. But that's exactly what Microsoft did when it came to the Boeing 707. It arrived in the marketplace yesterday. From that has almost nothing in common with the aircraft that carried the same name 2 years ago. The short version is Famous Flyer number 10 launched back in September 2024, and that was a project that was headed up by Aeroplane Heaven. And the reception turned out to be mixed at best. On stage at FS Expo in June, Jorg said plainly the aircraft was not up to what they wanted it to be, and announced that working title and I&I builds would be rebuilding it from the ground up, which is pretty cool. It's a most unusual thing to see. Hey Zybot, good to see you. So the aircraft is now available, and it's far more complex than what it used to be. We get 3 different cockpits representing 3 eras of navigation. The new rendition of the 707, it ships with 3 different cockpits, different configurations. And the first is the Carousel 4A inertial navigation system, the way the 707 actually crossed oceans before we even had satellite navigation. The second, might be more familiar to you, is a UNS-1 FMS with ORNAV capability, which allows modern routes and procedures. And then our third option is the Garmin GNS 530. Microsoft note that some of the 707s still flying today, these machines still fly today, carry exactly the same unit. So we have a couple of pictures here just to show you. This is a gorgeous aircraft, the Boeing 707, hugely popular, and it was one of those defining moments in aviation when this aircraft became what it was, right? It was used in a multitude of different roles, passenger, cargo, you name it, they flew it. So the choice does more work than what it might appear. It means the same aircraft can serve a simmer who wants 1970s transatlantic crossing with drift and manual position points, or a simmer who just wants to fly a classic, a 4-engine classic aircraft on a modern flight plan. There's a wider consequence too. At FS Expo, Working Title's Chris Burnett confirmed all 3 navigation units will be released as separate SIM attachments once the aircraft has shipped, which would allow other developers to integrate them into their own projects, meaning that anything you see on the avionics available in the 707 is now available for other developers to use on their own projects, which is kind of cool, right? There's also a flight engineer, a virtual flight engineer has been assembled with this project that'll handle guided flows, voice assistance, and optional automation from cockpit preparation straight to shutdown. And the idea behind it is this is a very complex airplane and it doesn't have the same level of automation we'd find in a lot of the more modern aircraft. Literally, there's buttons in aircraft today, one single button. Well, back in the day, that could have been maybe 6 dials and many other buttons and levers to control that system, where today it's all replicated by computer and different servos and whatnot. So they have included that. The rest of the workload management sits inside the EFB itself. They've updated that, giving us the likes of our aircraft configuration, door controls, performance calculations, and INS support tools. This is where INI builds were able to lean in heavily based on what they've done on their L1011. Giving you these different options of navigation style, which are avionics, and it's pretty cool. There is a trailer here, I'm sure you've seen it. It does look absolutely gorgeous, I must say, in a Pan Am livery. We'll have a quick look here, just have a gawk at it and see what you think. But yeah, an absolutely gorgeous looking aircraft. We'll play some tunage here to show it off. So as we can see from these screens here, I mean, the aircraft has received a major update. Everything from all the avionics, even the modeling of the aircraft, texture work, all of this has been fully updated with the work of Working Title and INI builds. And I gotta say, lads, this looks very impressive. Some beautiful liveries there as well. Of course, we're looking for a shiny Aer Lingus one. At Mugan, it's good to see you. But yeah, it's an exciting time because I think there was a lot of kind of, for God's sake, when this thing got released, we were like, this is like brutal. Why is it so bad, right? That's no longer the case. Not only that, the aircraft pricing is extremely competitive because you're getting an aircraft with all these features. And because it's part of the Microsoft, their own lineup of aircraft, it's priced at $14.99, which sits far below any other third-party aircraft when you look at the sort of systems depth and logic that's applied to this. But if you also own the aircraft in 2020, you just grab it now in 2024. If you already purchased the aircraft, it was a free upgrade. So this is Microsoft doing right by the community, I think, when it comes to one of these aircraft. Airplane Heaven, I mean, that developer has made stunning and continues to make stunning aircraft. This one, though, I think it was a bridge too far. There was far more anticipation for deeper systems, deeper simulations than what was originally on offer to us. And that's why a lot of folks are like, I'm not touching this. So I think, you know, the community's demand for a more capable aircraft was clearly seen by Microsoft. And they're like, right, well, we're going to fix this. And they would have appeared to have fixed it. So the question now is, lads, have you flown it yet? Have you given it a try? Or are you going to give it a try? Is this an aircraft that actually kind of, you know, calls to you to say, take me for a spin, you know? But yeah, the pricing is very good, I have to say. So available right now from the InSim marketplace and free for existing owners of the famous flyer number 10, which is great to see. CP says, not interested. Interesting. Pan Am livery. Isn't it gorgeous? Jet Clipper Bald Eagle. That's fantastic. Colonel Fork, good to see you, buddy. He flew it last night and it's nice. That's awesome. If Colonel Fork says something is nice, it's nice. Simple as that. There's really a good price for a classic airliner. Mugan, it really is. I mean, for like, depending on what your original sign up to Microsoft Flight Sim mods, you also got discounts on these. I think $8.99 it goes up, right? Pretty cool though. C4Man, good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. So yeah, that's now available in the sim. So blast on to your heart's content. Now, next up, Nemeth. Now, Nemeth Design, I just scratch my head with these lads sometimes, right? Because the last number of add-on releases, I think, have been well below par. Like, they're just not good, or above par. Above par? Golfing, right? Who knows? But they've brought out an Illusion 2-18, a Soviet prop liner for 2024, but it arrived as a first milestone. The developer promises more updates, but with no timeline. So it's a 4-engine turboprop, and I think we can all agree there is one aircraft that dominates this space. You know, a classic 4-engine prop liner is dominated by PMDG with their DC-6. I think it is the finest prop liner of the day simulated in our sim. The other guys, Reg, I forget the name. They did the Connie IL-18. I don't know why I put in a 218. The IL-18. Red Wing. They have their Super Constellation that received a massive update for 2024. I've yet to take it for a flight and a group flight. We will soon because they are working on it. So this enters the stage at a interesting position. It's Soviet, meaning that we don't get a lot of Soviet era aircraft. So it's going to be interesting to check it out, see what the differences are, right? And it's also a 4-engine classic prop liner. So the feature list isn't thin. Nemeth have listed a fully modelled KS6 heading and attitude gyro system, a UK1 core selector, autopilot pitch, roll and attitude hold, and custom electric, hydraulic, pneumatic, and fuel systems. The release includes a cargo and passenger variant, career mode compatibility, and a set of period liveries. Early reports from viewers have been broadly backed up the system's claim, describing the modelling as reasonably deep with a large number of functional switches, though without any failure modelling. The exterior model seems good, and the cockpit appears to be where most of the visual effort has gone. And of course, we have a passenger cabin as well. So we'll have a look at some of the pictures here. It's a very interesting looking machine, this, the IL-18, and how similar these aircraft were. I mean, when you look at the American build versus the Soviet build, there are a lot of similarities between them in terms of the layout and the general configuration. And the looks, just, they're different enough to say, that's not from this neck of the woods at all, you know? Anthony V, good to see you. Colonel Fork says about the 707, it's not study level, but there's good depth and a huge improvement over the original release. I think that's what people were looking for, you know? So yeah, this is pretty cool looking. We can see it here from the the cabin views and also our cockpit views. Texture work looks nice. This is it looks really nice, you know. With the modeling as well, everything appears to be correct so far as kind of scale and whatnot. But Nemeth are a developer, as I say. Some of their releases, when I see Nemeth, I'm like, yeah, next, yeah, right. It's priced at $39.49, which sits pretty much at the same kind of conversion as a DC-6, 10, 20 bucks in the difference, right? But it's still up there with pricing. Until now, the DC-6 has effectively been the classic prop liner option in the sim, all the way back since 2021. So the IL-18 may be one of the first serious challengers. It is a little bit cheaper, but a long way to go to reach maturity. Does anyone have this aircraft yet? Because I'm intrigued by it. I'm going to pick it up purely to test fly it and see what sort of trouble we can get into. But I am intrigued by it, and I am hoping Nemeth can actually hit a home run here because, as I said, some of the previous releases, I just wasn't impressed. Do you know? And Nemeth, they're in the game a long time. They're making aircraft for a long, long time. And some of their add-ons used to be excellent. Do you know? So maybe this is a return to form, perhaps. I don't know. Definitely an interesting aircraft with the Illusion products and that of the Soviet era. Very, very interesting indeed. So yeah, we'll have to check this one out. I think there's something about these classic prop liners in the sim. Now maybe that's just reserved for the likes of the DC-6. The DC-3 has it as well though. So maybe the IL-18 is going to be into that category. Even the Connie has it. You know, you feel like you're flying that level of complexity from an era that required, you know, all sorts of crazy. So yeah, looking forward to giving this a bash. Next up, of course, yes, we know the Rafale has landed. AzurPoly's Dassault fighter is now available to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's an exclusive release through the marketplace after nearly 2 years of development. Now, AzurPoly, I love these guys. I mean, they brought us the Fuga, they brought us the Epsilon, the list goes on, the C-160, which was excellent. What was that other one, the prop? It looked like a fighter jet, but it was a prop. I keep forgetting its name. They also brought us the Jag. Yeah, right. And, of course, we now have the Rafale. Just incredible. The Bronco. Like, that's a superb aircraft. And actually, I've been watching that YouTube series from Cal Fire. They use Broncos all the time as spotting aircraft. But anyway, the Rafale, front and center, because it's not the first time we've seen a Rafale in the sim. This, though, is different. And we're checking this one out tonight. This has been a very interesting release. Not only because it's, you know, the aircraft has been officially endorsed by Dassault. They were like, yeah, we endorse this. We give you the gold seal of approval. The feature list of this aircraft is spectacular. The sounds are incredible. There is all sorts of navigation. There's different systems simulation, be it oxygen, hydraulics, pneumatics, all of that, right? And there's even a weapons module. Like no other you've seen before. Now, if you've purchased this aircraft already, ramble on over to the AzurPoly website, and there you can download a patch which will enable the use of these weapons. If you don't download the patch, well, the weapons are purely, you know, visual. They're just cosmetic, right? If you grab the weapons pack, they've already built into the aircraft systems the ability to track aircraft and ground targets, lock onto them, and deploy your ordnance. This is absolutely nuts. Not only that, the same system can actually introduce other aircraft into your sim environment that you can go and track them down, hunter killer, friggin' escort duties, whatever you want to do. And I'll show you that when we're going to have a look at this airplane in a little bit. The history behind the aircraft, it's a French design, and they've absolutely nailed this. And it just goes to show when developers can actually get that official backing from a manufacturer, how deep they can actually go into the realism and quality control and all of this kind of stuff. Another thing that made this release interesting, AzurPoly released this on all platforms at the same time. That is something we have never seen before. We've never seen that before. We've never seen a developer say, right, it's now available on Marketplace, Xbox, and PlayStation. This is the first time it's happened. And all reports back so far has been thumbs up. This is excellent, right? What it costs, right? The base Rafale comes in at $44.99. It's about 50 quid. That's with 14 liveries. There are 3 optional livery packs that sit alongside that for about $5 each, covering special schemes, the Rafale solo display, and the Tiger Meat. Or you can take the full bundle with everything in it for $54.99 or $49.99. This places the Rafale near the top price range of military aircraft in the sim, which puts a certain amount of pressure on the system's depth to justify that. On paper, the feature list makes the case. Fully custom wasm fly-by-wire system with multiple control laws and envelope protection. A 7-screen avionics suite, functional terrain following that reads actual simulator topography. This thing has terrain following radar, meaning you would set it up in your aircraft, keep me 200 feet above the ground. Forget about barometric pressure. This will actually use radar to keep you exactly 200 feet above the ground. That's incredible stuff. And the payload that affects the weight, drag, balance, and performance of your flying. And the weapons patch is live for PC. The team repeats the same explanation it has given since the weapons module was first shown. Marketplace policies does not allow selling aircraft with functional armament, so PC buyers download the patch separately. If you're on console, weapons do not work on Xbox or PlayStation 5. While PlayStation owners get the aircraft on day one, which is more than anyone expected, they get it in the same configuration as Xbox. Armament is visible on the pylons, but it doesn't function. You can't release it, right? The guided missiles, air-to-air surface work with target designation, the cannon and weapon tracking cameras all sit behind the PC only. And we also got the manual on time as well, which I haven't read, but we'll figure it out, right? The initial release is exclusive to the Microsoft Flight Sim marketplace. AzurPoly has said third-party stores will follow within the next few weeks, with dates being announced separately. So if you prefer buying your aircraft off the marketplace, keep your eye out and you'll see them appear on other stores, such as Anybills or Just Flight, so on. The studio have also confirmed updates are already in preparation based on its own development roadmap and community feedback. That's broadly how the Jag and the Transall have been handled since their own releases. The Rafale is available right now on the marketplace, and we're going to check out this aircraft tonight. Right, we're checking it out. Colonel Fork says what will be interesting is if they make the weapons module work with other aircraft, meaning making them just as operational, like the old TAC Pack. I don't think they can, but if they could, that could be nuts, couldn't it? Yeah, read the manual. Like, do you know, feels like this is the closest to a DCS module Microsoft will get. I would agree. I would agree. You know, there's some modules on DCS this surpasses, but it's, you know, this is very good. We'll be checking it out now in a moment. Now, this month, of course, as I saw on Discord as well, we're celebrating the 90th year of the Spitfire. And, well, we have a release from Flight Replicas. They have delivered a new bubble canopy Spitfire is out. And it covers the clipped and full wing, plus also a high back and low back fuselage, and it's available for both 2020 and 2024. The Spitfire Isle has been an expensive one, Flying Iron making the initial start, and also anyone who's interested in Flying Iron, they're working heavily on their version 2 Spitfire. Very excited to see that soon. But Flight Replicas, they've brought us Spitfires before. This one, a little bit different because it's actually cheaper. The package contains clipped wing and full wing variants, plus the high back fuselage variants representing the early production aircraft, alongside the cut down teardrop canopy versions that entered production from 1945. 2 gun side types are included, gyro and standard, depending on which version you're going to fly. S-Boy Law, good to see you, buddy. Historically, the different changes between the aircraft. So the Mark, 16 straddles the real change in the aircraft. Early examples were visually indistinguishable from the contemporary Mark 9, while later ones carried the all-round vision canopy that became the standard Spitfire look for the rest of the type's production. Native to 2020, but it is compatible with 2024, and you can pick this up for a fairly low price of $13.99, right? Saw the solar eclipse of Microsoft Flight Sim. It was mad. It's deadly, isn't it? It's deadly that we could do that. Has anyone flown this machine yet? I do love a good Spitfire, me, and we do have some nice options, but I haven't flown this particular variant just yet. As I said, I'm very much looking forward to the Flying Iron version 2. That is coming very soon, lads, and there'll be content coming soon for that as well. Absolute class bit of machine. Now, moving on, the MD-11 from TFDI Design. The second act has reached Xbox without the failures. 7 months after the overhaul that turned its reception around, TFDI's Trijet is on console with both variants and 18 liveries in one package, though the extended simulation stays behind on PC. It's amazing how they managed to put all the liveries into a single package, and then other devs charge for liveries. It's mad, isn't it? Anyway, TFDI Design first released the MD-11 after 4.5 years of development. I've got to say, this is a superb aircraft. It did get its kind of pre-sale criticism. You know, you could opt in as an early adopter. They kind of did a pre-release thing. The community expected a lot more, but, you know, a couple of years on, I got to say, the MD-11 is in a fairly decent state with more updates coming soon. The only serious rendition of the much-loved Trijet, and one that a lot of people were waiting on to buy properly, which was the definitive edition, which changed everything. They added in the additional engines, shipped the extended simulation package with its component wear and tear feature modeling as well, which is pretty cool, right? Before announcing anything new, they just released the MD-11 for Xbox. The version carries the same system simulations and visuals as the PC. Both the passenger and freighter versions are included in a single purchase, which is a departure from the a la carte structure on PC, where the first variant costs $74 and the second $9.99. Marketplace pricing for the console packages this at $84.99 US, so the total lands in roughly the same price for anyone who wanted both. Now, it's a hefty price, but it's a hefty machine, right? 18 liveries are installed. We also get different ones, such as Citybird, American Airlines, Swiss, Lufthansa Cargo, DHL, UPS, you name it, they're all there. There's also a choice between the high poly and low poly cabin models, which will help you out with performance. The extended simulation didn't make it across onto console, however. That is all held back on the PC, which makes a lot of sense. The practical consequence, console pilots get the airframe, the rebuilt visuals and systems, just without the service-based failures. So for what it's worth, the extended simulation pack costs $4.99 on PC. It's not a large sum of money being withheld. It's a capability difference rather than pricing. Xbox was the last outstanding item on the roadmap for TFDI design, and it would look now that they're going to be full speed ahead on the next update. As I said, this is a gorgeous airplane. The MD-11, I haven't flown it enough. We crossed the pond with this. It's a gorgeous airplane and always a challenge to fly. I need to get back into this aircraft. Do you know? Filthy is here. Good to see you. Just Roy says the MD-11 is becoming my favourite. Yeah, it's really good. It's very good. One of the coolest long haul yokes. It really is. Did you see the new retro FedEx livery? I did not, D-White. GE Pratt Whitney engines too. Wonderful, says Sean Dale. 100%. Cornwolf is here. 39 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Good to see you, bud. And thank you so very much. Devs are having a very hard time, especially with the newer aircraft, getting them pared down enough for the Xbox Series S. Yeah, I think that's a huge challenge for them. Now, Xbox did announce their next-gen console. Let's see what happens there. But I think trying to put the entire platform onto the Xbox Series S, maybe not a great idea. You know, I won the MD-11 freighter here. Oh, good man, Zybok. Just Roy flew the Belgian Citybird MD-11 to Tenerife. Ooh, a fully green jet. Nice. Wish I could get the MD-11 Firefly livery working on 2024, says Sean Dale. Is it not working in 24? We'll have a look. Heisenberg is here. Good to see you. I hope the eclipse today didn't overshadow your stream. Haha. Very good, Heisenberg. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're well. Yeah, I thought the MD-11 was working now. Static Dash says, what's next with the MD-11? They want to make it native to 2024. That is on the roadmap. Other features and fixes coming in, enhancements, and we're going to tackle some of the sounds as well. And enhance some of those service-based failures. So there's a lot of miles on the roadmap yet from TFDI design. It is a superb airplane. It's beautiful. It looks great. It flies great. There's plenty of avionics there to make you scratch your head, and it's pretty cool. Kieran got your MCDU today from Moza. Congratulations. Have fun with it, buddy. Yeah, the Moza gear it's folks are really, really happy with it. I have it, man. It's excellent. The build quality. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Sean Dale says, no, not in 24. I tried a couple of the converters. Yeah, the converters don't do most liveries all the justice. But Sean, if it's not working, we'll look at it. It might take a couple of weeks or months or years, but we'll look at it, right? But it is a superb aircraft. We'll have to schedule a flight with this machine too. I mean, look at this. Look at the profile of it, lads. Isn't it gorgeous? Beautiful. Now, A2A simulations. We'll dip on over to Threshold for some news here. A2A are still working away on their legacy RG550, based, of course, on the Lancair legacy. And they both, they published a couple of screenshots. It's in beta right now, and it's a beautiful little machine. And it was a project when I first saw it. I wasn't really, I wasn't terribly excited about it. I was like, a Lancair, I mean, However, there's a lot more going on here than what you would think, because, well, with A2A, of course, they bring AccuSim to it, and this is an aircraft that Scott's flying. He'll literally go for a spin and report back to the lads and say, hey, we needed to do this. So what A2A are building here is a living, breathing aircraft, just like what they did with the Comanche, just like what they did with the Aerostar, right? So very much looking forward to seeing the end result. Further testing continues to go well, and the developer once again shared 2 screenshots showing only the exterior. But yeah, it's coming together, right? The developer once again shared 2, one showing the exterior, other showcasing the flight deck. Where's the other picture? Maybe it's that one. But yeah, it's a 2-seater Lancair. It's they've real competition in this space, and that's what, you know. There's going to be a lot of head scratching on this one, lads, because FlySimWare, we're checking out their updated Lancair, the steam gauge variant of that. We're checking that one out tonight, and there's a lot of competition in this space. They are slightly different variants of the aircraft, right? So they actually are 2 different aircraft. They share the same airframe, but the innards are all quite different, you know. You got the Jag for your birthday. Ooh. The RG500 Suzuki, right? Brilliant. But yeah, so we'll keep an eye from A2A. Very excited. Their roadmap also looks incredible, with a Cessna 172 and a 182 also being flagged as currently in development. Very exciting times for A2A, because I think there is just massive scope for a high fidelity Cessna 172. There just is. Think of all the Airbus we have. You know what I mean? It's Smithers. Good to see you, bud. Now, shout out to Super Typhon. This one passed me radar. Emerald Scenery Design. They're working on what's called a Pit and Paul air camper aircraft. It's work in progress, but it's an old classic brought back to life. Doesn't it look very interesting? Right. They got a scan from this. Red Baron scanned it. A 3D scan from Oshkosh. That's pretty cool looking. And then you can see it being put together. Now, Emerald Scenery Design, these lads, there's a lot of work between themselves and GotFriends. So you're dealing with that level of ilk when it comes to some of the guys behind this project. Just amazing people. Genuinely amazing people. So I am expecting great things from this. And it is nice that they're able to touch on, you know, a very old aircraft. Most people, I imagine, wouldn't know much about this airplane. I certainly didn't, right? The project has been in work for over 6 months now, and has only come about due to the dedicated persistence of many of our testers who wanted to see the aircraft in the sim. Red Baron, MP Troll, Jess, LBR, and Aviator Ford. Mike Rode nor myself really knew much about the air camper beforehand. This is from GotFriends. But gained a passion for it the more they researched it, right? They first approached Craig from Rara Ava Sims about the status of his air camper project in January, about a month before release of the 1500 or Sport. And of course, not all of these 6 months have been active development, as there was a step away, but they were able to pick it up from there. Very lucky to get to work with friends once again on this project. Having a team that you can count on really helps drive the project in the right direction. Mike Rode has returned once again, providing fantastic model and all of the paint and artwork along with it. Got Gravel involved, helping with the flight modeling as well. A 1928 design. Yes, it's pretty cool. And they managed to get a rendition of it from Oshkosh, which was done by Red Baron, which is pretty cool. The power plant on the machine is a Continental A65, as opposed to the more classic Ford Model A engine, with the 65 provides 65 horsepower at full power. Couple of lawnmowers and away she goes, right? But yeah, so no release date yet. They're working on it, but I gotta say, it's a very interesting looking airplane, and it's years old, and we can see the likes of thunder tires, bicycle wheels, and just general kind of messing. It's an open canopy aircraft from 1928. Pretty cool. We'll keep an eye on this project. You can definitely see the passion behind it. And like looking at the pictures here, the modeling work, I mean, this looks superb, doesn't it? This looks beautiful. Not to 60 in about 7 years, but apart from that, it looks very, very nice. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, do you know? Now, MK Studios say the Tenerife South and Vagar version 2 are on final. Scenery developer MK Studios say their updated versions of both Vagar and Tenerife South are close to completion. The Faroe Islands Vagar and Spain's Canary Islands, both tricky airports to fly in and out of, spectacular terrain and challenging weather that affects both airfields. Both sceneries will be updated to version 2. They are the latest versions from MK Studios, and the team have released previous versions of both destinations before. The screenshots depict the airfield looking fit for release. The Discord announcement added GSX profiles will be done in the next few days, and the testing team are going to be trying them out. They're hoping to release this in and around the 17th of August. So they're looking at kind of next week or the next 2 weeks. Pretty cool, right? A couple of pictures that we have here. We've seen what MK Studios can do when it comes to a version 2. For the most part, it's completely rebuilt. New optimizations, of course, for Flight Sim 2024. There's new objects, new textures. This is a very beautiful looking shot here as well. Their lighting can look fantastic. One thing I would love, I mean, Dublin is Dublin, but I would love another update to Dublin. Or a bit of competition in it. You know, MK Scenery Dublin, it's the best Dublin without a shadow of a doubt, but I just love for a little bit more. Yeah, right. But I got to say, this looks great. I've flown into Tenerife South in the real world, haven't gone up to Vegar, but we have visited there plenty of times in the sim, and I love seeing the surrounding buildings and POIs as well. You know, Colonel Fork, thank you. Yeah, I've been reading up on it. That's a public blog, Colonel Fork, isn't it? Because I know I have stuff there, but I wasn't sure I was allowed to share it. Hang on there now. Let's have a look. As far as I know, it's public because I want to show you some of the things that they're bringing to it. It's on their website, so yeah. Quick jump back here, lads. So I mentioned earlier, Flying Iron are working on an update for their Spitfire. The package is going to include multiple variants of their Spitfire. Multiple, right? The Mark 9, a Mark 8, a Mark 16, and a Mark 9 float plane. What? And the feature lists are absolutely friggin' nuts. And it's fully rebuilt inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. And you can see from it, there appears to be daka going on, right? This seaplane variant of the Spitfire, there's only a handful of these made. That's cool. And these are coming soon. This is a 2026 release. Flying Iron Spitfire is without doubt the definitive warbird that we had in the sim since launch. It has been excellent. Rivaled only really by GotFriends with their F6 or their F4F. Like that was way up there, right? The GotFriends one. Friggin' love that thing because they just added so much functionality to it. The Spitfire, however, she's an iconic aircraft. Even though, you know, the Hurricane did more of the heavy lifting during the war, the Spitfire was top of the range. Absolutely top of the range. So yeah, very interesting to see this come to life. Colonel Fork, thank you for sharing. And yeah, we'll definitely be checking that one out. Definitely checking that one out. So going back to MK Studios, they're aiming for around the 17th for the 2 new updates, and that's going to be for Vegar and for Tenerife South. Pretty cool. News from Chaseplane, they've added finally the AI traffic spotting, and they're letting us know that Chaseplane is now eventually going to be moving away from the experimental build into a full release. And they've fired the shot to say you can pick up Chaseplane now on the experimental branch for $30, but once they move out of that, the price will increase. The price will increase. Chaseplane, for me, I loved using Chaseplane. It's not without some kind of limitations every now and again. It might bug out, but it's experimental. They tell you all over the thing it's experimental. So it'll be interesting to see what else they'll be able to pour into this project now once it gets its full natural release. We're still missing a couple of features that was on the 2020 version of Chaseplane. That's not a Parallel 42 problem. Asobo kind of turned features off that they couldn't access. Hopefully we'll get to see them, revisiting all of this. But effectively, spotting, this was something that was announced at Expo with SayIntentions. You now have a way to spot AI aircraft flying in SayIntentions. So when an AI aircraft is talking, the camera can actually move and look at them. Plus, you can use it for spotting other traffic as well. However, it is not compatible with multiplayer. You cannot use this spotter to look at multiplayer traffic because it's a limitation of the API from Asobo. Hopefully that'll change, but at the moment, it won't work, right? The spotting in Chaseplane is quite nice as excessively salty. Yeah, like it'll look at real world traffic as in injected traffic or AI traffic, but it won't look at multiplayer. There is a difference. But yeah, pretty cool. So they're letting us know it's moving away soon from the experimental branch, and we'll have to see where this goes. There's other things with Chase Plane, official VR support, and maybe it going in the direction of consoles. You just wouldn't know. I like using Chase Plane. A lot of people who have it are happy with it. Other people don't like the fact that it completely overrides all of your default bindings for the cameras. And there are other camera solutions appearing, right? So, yeah. When you say multiplayer, do you mean that's VATSIM players? VATSIM? That's a good question, Static Dash. I'm not sure can it track VATSIM. I think it can VAC it. Yeah, it can. Parallel says, reads aircraft from AI packs and from online networks such as, yeah, it does. VATSIM, IVAO, and SayIntentions. However, it does not go to multiplayer. Simulator, multiplayer aircraft, it can't see. But it can get the data from VATSIM, IVAO, and SayIntentions. All right? So, yeah, good question, but yes is the answer. All right? As I say, there's competition starting to appear now. It'd be interesting to see what Parallel 42 can pour into this product. I like it. I've all my views set up from it. It's now, I find it now easier now that I use it in my kind of ecosystem. I find it way more easier setting up views, and I can copy them across. It's brilliant. I like that. But there is competition there, so it's going to be interesting couple of months to see what Parallel 42 can do. It'll be interesting. Anyway, over the world of X-Plane, SimHeaven X-World Pro has released, and I was getting a couple of questions on this. So you could download SimHeaven regions for ground scenery. And when I say ground scenery, I'm talking about objects, buildings, chimneys, roads, trees, people, that kind of stuff, right? This is something I think is needed in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. SimHeaven have now bundled everything into what they called X-World Pro. It's a worldwide bundle. Now, you can buy specific regions if you like. They're a little bit cheaper. Or you can go ahead and just buy global coverage. And what it does, it's reading up-to-date OSM data, and it will put in region-specific styles, the type of buildings you would expect to see if you were flying over Germany or, you know, New York City, or somewhere out in Asia versus somewhere in, you know, Antarctica. You get the idea. These are objects that are tailored for that region, and it works pretty well. The files are quite big, like gigs upon gigs of data in these folders, right? It's like a 45 gig install per region. Right, so that will have other effects on loading up X-Plane. So you're talking moving stuff around, or you use the X-Linker, move stuff around, only load what you need. But it does make a difference. Now, the sort of scenery objects you get, this is X-Plane, so you're always going to have to approach X-Plane with a beer goggle, right, couple of beers and then she comes right. But as you're looking at it here, when you're up close to these, they are sharp, they're crisp, and they look very, very good. When you move away from them, the LOD is actually pretty insane on these as well, and they have night lighting and whatever else there. This adds so much to X-Plane. It really, really does. Now, whether or not, you know, if you're using the free variants, which work, but this is more up to date, it's smarter, and it's more optimized. That's what you're getting with X-World Pro, I think. At least that was my experimentation. We're going to be in X-Plane tomorrow anyway. We're checking out Just Flight's new DR400. So yeah, we'll have a now look at this as we're exploring on air as well, you know? But as you can see, look at the LOD. Like, it does give you a very different perspective when you're flying kind of VF4 or even the airliners. So Microsoft Flight Sim, it's all kind of blurred, mad-looking pyramids, triangles, and then it starts coming to life the closer you get to it. SimHeaven kind of does that, but it's more defined. Buildings are more defined. And it really does change the layout of some of these cities. Now, you're looking at them and you're thinking, well, the colours might seem off, or you're always going to get that, right? But overall, I think it looks quite good. And for the X-Plane scene, for the entire scene in X-Plane, this is definitely one way you would enhance the visual fidelity of that platform. The different regions, America, Europe, Asia, Australia, Oceania, Africa, and Antarctica are all included, or you can pick them up individually. You can buy the whole bundle for $35, and it does add in thousands of objects. And this is what kind of enables you to fly something like X-Plane VF4 style just by having this, because you'll be able to identify visual reference points, chimneys, factories. They even have animated fountains, geysers, exploding waterfalls. And they have updated regional packs for Australia, England, Western France, and the United States, including all the bridges, loads of stuff, and vegetation. It is a complete overhaul of the objects, the model objects that are available in that simulator. And again, I think there's great scope here for something like this in Microsoft Flight Sim. I mean, could you imagine, right? So that's available. We're going to be checking that one out tomorrow on our live stream anyway, if you have any questions. It installed fairly straightforward. You have to edit your scenery file and whatnot, but pretty good, right? Pretty good. Excessively salty, I agree. So something like this needs to be standard in X-Plane. Laminar do know that, and Laminar are actually working on that. They're bringing their own new scenery assets with each and every update. So they are doing it. Laminar have recently, a couple of months back, anyone from X-Plane knows the name Mr. X6 or Mr. X, right? Short Final Design. He works for Laminar now. They hired him, said, hey, make us stuff. And he makes good stuff. So yeah, a lot of exciting news there for X-Plane. Staying with X-Plane, Retro Wings have decided to develop a Metroliner. Right? Also known as Retro Wings, they've shared a press release detailing progress on their upcoming Metroliner for X-Plane 12, confirming that beta testing is quite near. They also shared a whopping 280 images of this aircraft. Now, a Metroliner, we don't really see these in Europe, rarely, right? There was bigger competition over our side of the pond with ATR and whatnot, and of course the Fokkers. But in the United States, Metroliners, friggin' everywhere, right? Turboprop engine, a mad looking machine. Stevo One Knievo, fans of Stevo, he started off in a Metroliner. And I got to say, from the early pictures that we're looking at, this looks pretty nice, right? It looks like, it's a beautiful aircraft. We can see there's integration with either the Reality GTN or the TDS XI, right? Plenty of steam gauges and plenty of details when we look at the fuselage here, rivets, the modeling, texture work, all the reflections, even the props. I mean, look at the size of the propellers on these, right? It looks very, very nice indeed. There are tons of photos here, but just to give you an idea, Metroliners, we badly need one of these, I think, in Flight Sim 2024. They're just a very interesting aircraft. Do you know? It's itty bitty aircraft, had to do the duck walk inside of it. Fast aircraft, worked well as long as both engines were working. It was a handful when it lost its engine. Yeah. Just Roy says, yes, Mr. X updates also the world editor scenery assets. It's getting more and more objects. Laminar did a good job to hire him. Yeah, 100%, Roy. 100%. Windows update just hit. I got that last night. But yeah, a Metroliner, I think, in the sim would be pretty cool. What do you think of it, lads? It's a pretty unusual looking aircraft. But again, if you're stateside, you've seen this thing. You've probably been in one of these things. I am looking forward to picking this machine up and taking it for a spin, because I've always wanted to fly in a Metroliner. Always wanted to give it a shot and see what it's all about. So, yeah. Also, to go into more detail, electrical and hydraulic systems, including the avionics, they're going to be getting some loves here as well, or some love. And you can see inside the cockpit, it looks to be fairly along, doesn't it? It looks to be fairly along. Loads of stuff here. I survived 600 hours in this aircraft, says Two Dogs. There you go. Survived, I like that. But yeah, it looks to be a fairly complete looking aircraft, and with simulation depth as well, as mentioned. Also fuel bleed and pressurization, which is also going to be included. And looking at it, it's going to be a passenger and cargo variant. And it even includes a built-in safeguard system, state saving. Auto saves the aircraft state in flight, lets you reload in full across all systems to switch positions, configurations, fuel load, and wear at any point during the flight. Again, these are features we need to see in Microsoft Flight Sim. That almost looks real. I actually thought that was real. I had to double check. Is that real or is that X-Plane? You tell me, lads. Can you actually tell if that's real? Isn't it amazing? It's whatever they've done with the sky behind it, and it's just like that. Looking at that to me looks real. My eyes are like, no, that's a real photo. P3D. Would you go away with that P3D? That looks real to me. You know, if it doesn't look real to you, get your eyes checked. You know.
I put the car in swing, baby.
Kieran, thank you very much indeed. 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community here on Twitch. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Kieran, do be sure to say thank you. Thank you very, very much. The ones that are left are pretty much used for freight now. Yeah. They really did a great job at the sky. Yeah, the sky in X-Plane that's where it's all at. It's really, really good. From the horizon up, it's absolutely class looking. I mean, it's class looking. Look at the shot here, look. Right? Anyway, lots more news there. No release date just yet, but looking forward to seeing this. I am a legend. You are a legend, Kieran, and thank you very much indeed. Legend. Now, we'll finish up here with SayIntentions. We covered the Emerald Scenery designs. So SayIntentions got to have a chat with Brian tonight and on Vectors to Final. The video is on YouTube. Go back and have a look at it. We got to hear some of the new voices, the new accents, which Brian says they're almost ready to go. They played this one from Japan, Bahrain, India, France, and Germany. And I got to say, lads, they sounded friggin' awesome. Awesome. So that's going to be a new update coming soon from SayIntentions. And he also alluded to some other things as well. He mentioned something about a shared radio experience, which was kind of in the realms of shared cockpit, but it's not shared cockpit as we think. It's shared radio, meaning that you or your buddy or buddies can have control of the radio and you can kind of share the ATC tasks between you, which is pretty interesting. So, one of the features that was announced at Expo was to do with the backtrack feature. And it's been released to partners. It's now available to everyone. And what SayIntentions were looking to do, their side works perfectly. It will allow you to bring the aircraft back to a previous position, and the ATC would basically go back with you and then give you something a little bit different. Basically, it didn't upset your flight if you wanted to use backtrack. Jesus. That was very loud and scary. TG Sims, look what he did. TG Sims, 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Did you see what he did? Thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to TG Sims 188, do be sure to say thank you. Amazing support, sir. Thank you very, very much indeed. Very much appreciated. Thanks a million. Malky says, the Japanese one was very close to a real controller I heard for Haneda. No, it's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. But yeah, so with Backtrack, it is pretty cool because if you ever messed up an approach or you want to do a slightly different, well, you literally go back and try it again without having to end the flight and do all the jazz. What they found is a lot of the more complex airliners, you can do it. It'll bring them back, but depending on who, what developer it is, you'll have to go back in and reprogram things like the FMS or reprogram maybe the aircraft state. Now, it's easy enough to do. You can backtrack, hit pause, and then away you go. I mean, we're used to this with some of the autosave feature, right? However, where they have really found the shining element of this, backtrack, ideally for general aviation. Because there was a part here in the recent blog post they're saying, look, an honest truth, SayIntentions backtrack, it's for hand-flown visual GA Cessnas, Pipers, the airplane you're flying with your hands. That's where you're going to get the best experience out of this. So you don't need to go worrying about, managing the FMS and all this. Or at least that's where the sweet spot is, right? So the whole idea is that's what they're working on when it comes to the practice loop. And the practice loop is literally fly a circuit. Oh, gone wrong here. Click it back. Oh, try it again. Click it back. Try it again. So that's all up and running. In addition to this, we also spoke about the AI uplink when it came to GSX. Also the AI optimizer. The AI system optimizer. That's getting a version 2 soon. Brian spoke about that. And it's going to include coverage for X-Plane, which is very interesting. And it's going to be free. They're keeping it free, which is great to hear. I think the major news I thought we got from Brian was them new voices and just how short they are to us getting to experiencing them. Because I think isn't it like an instant thing? When you're flying with ATC, you hear an accent which kind of belongs. Jesus, it belongs to that region. It's the difference of this is actually happening versus I'm just following the procedure, I think. You know what I mean? Martel, thank you very much indeed. Look at that. He started a hype train on a Wednesday night. What do you like? Martel, thank you very, very much indeed. 59 months. Cheers, buddy. You're very kind. So yeah, lots of exciting news from SayIntentions. I would say to everyone, go back and look at the vectors to final. And if you have any questions, let them know in the comment section below. They'll let you know what the crack is as well. Exciting things. And they're working on so much more. So much more. But this is what Brian kind of just gave us a little bit of a glimpse into with those new voices. We've seen the stuff with the cabin crisis. We've seen the stuff with the pushback pressure. There's so many awesome features. And the voices, I think, is definitely going to be something that will that folks are going to appreciate, because you're no point talking about it. You're going to hear it. Yeah, right. As you're flying, you're definitely going to hear it. So yeah, absolutely class stuff from SayIntentions. And we'll hopefully catch up with them again soon for more news. Now, that moves us on to this. This here is an airplane, and it's from AzurPoly, and it is Dassault Rafale C. And we're going to have a look at this tonight. Isn't it pretty? Now, the aircraft comes, as we say, with a number of different liveries. There are also livery packs that you can grab for this as well. All right. The aircraft itself in question, Dassault Rafale, right? It is a French aircraft. Rafale in French literally means gust of wind or burst of fire in a more military sense, right? It's currently in service, operated by the French Air and Space Force, the French Navy, the Egyptian Air Force, the Indian Air Force, and there's also a number of different operators. There's hundreds of these built, hundreds of them. They started manufacturing in 1986, the very first Rafale. Now we're up to variant C. It's like the F-16 in A, B, C, D, right? Its first flight was in 1986. And it was introduced in 2001. So there's quite a lot of work that's gone into this, right? This aircraft is quite distinct from other European fighters of its era, in that it's almost entirely built by one country, France, involving most of France's major defence contractors such as Dassault, Thales and Safran. Many of the aircraft avionics features, such as the direct voice input, the Orbi-2AA active electronic scanned array, radar, and a whole ton of other stuff, were all domestically developed in France. Now, the aircraft itself, what we have here is I don't know what you want to call it, a generation type fighter. It should be, the C would be classed as a Gen 5, I suppose, would it? Or is it a Gen 6? But it's a very interesting airplane, and it's one of the I think it's one of the best looking kind of fighters I've seen, right? So the Rafale A, D, B, C. Then we have an M, an N, an R, and then there were export variants as well. 2-seater variants, like going to Egypt, Qatar, Greece, Indonesia, and so on. The aircraft is operated in an absolute barrowload of countries, and it also has a number of confirmed future countries that are going to operate this aircraft as well. It's a Gen 4. Okay, she's Gen 4. So this would put it up there with the likes of, we say, an F-18 perhaps? Are we kind of? No? Yes? Maybe? That kind of neck of the woods, right? But what we have here, developed by AzurPoly in cooperation with JFEXP, highly detailed rendition brings one of France's most advanced aircraft to the simulator with a high level of care, immersion and functionality. Developed from the ground up over a period of more than 2 years, the AzurPoly Dassault Rafale includes features such as a fully custom fly-by-wire system, functional terrain following system, a complete custom avionics suite, payload configuration and much more. Also the sounds, right? And many unique features. So rather than just talking about it, lads, I want to show you what this thing is all about because it is absolutely savage. So we'll look at the visuals because it's very pretty. We'll look at the visuals and we'll have a look. Why are my lights turned off? I need to press a button for my lights. Do. How do I do this now? A Rafale would be classed as a 4.5. Would it be a 4.5? Okay. Where's my button for this shagging thing? Default state. Yes. Why isn't there like a button here, Murph? There used to be like a little studio mode. I could just reset my lights because they're all broken. 1 second now, boys. 1 second now. There we go. My lights are back. Right. Look at the state of this. So you can see straight away looking around. Everything from the remove before flight. See them moving in the wind? They all react to it. And this is one of the most visually stunning aircraft when it comes from a fighter I've seen. This is beautiful. And you notice, yes, we have a ton of ordnance loaded onto this machine as well. But hopefully you can kind of get an idea of just how well AzurPoly have modeled this machine. Right? Do you remember everyone scoffed at the material fabric simulation of SOBA we're talking about? Yeah, but it looks superb. Like when it's done right, doesn't it look superb? Like look at the details here. Like going in on the front landing gear. Like the detail here, lads. Isn't it absolutely brilliant? It is superb. The attention to detail, the textures, like this thing looks the part. Absolutely looks the part, and all that detailing, like it all lives further in. There's nowhere you can find in this aircraft that hasn't gotten attention. It is insane, and it just makes you want to go and explore it. You know what I mean? As I say, we do have ordnance there, and I'll show you some of the options. Some of our lights in here as well. I mean, look at the detail here. Look, isn't that absolutely nuts? Isn't it incredible? Like look at the rivets, look. Down the leading edge of our wing. Even the detail on the pylons, look. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, with some of the liveries that you get, just superb. And like, look at this, like, look at the wing there. You can see like the little imperfections caused by wear and tear in the aircraft. Like, isn't it absolutely gorgeous? It's unreal, lads. Like I'm telling you, hide the wallets. It is not safe. This is an aircraft absolutely must be on your shopping list. Because where the attention to detail starts from the looks of it, it is absolutely transferred into the sounds and how it flies and to the depth of systems. Like absolutely, they've absolutely hit a home run here. The detailing is just insane on this machine. It's staggering. It really, really is staggering. Looking back onto these massive engines at the back here as well. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. And for those maybe you don't want to be flying around in DCS because, you want to use Microsoft Flight Sim, or maybe you love DCS and there was nothing in Microsoft Flight Sim that really challenged you, or made you want to go, I need that in my life. This is one of the aircraft that might do that. You can attach the GPU in walk around mode. Oh, you can do a ton of options with this aircraft. But yeah, like as I said, the attention to detail, lads, it is absolutely insane. And the ordnance is all included. Moving up here where our canopy is, even the scale of the pilot I thought was absolutely bang on. This is something that developers struggle with. The pilot scale tends to be a little bit wrong, right? Dan, it's in the region of about $50, 45 to $50 on the marketplace. If you don't want to buy it on the marketplace, you're going to have options in a couple of weeks. It will be made available on other platforms. The likes of, as I said, AnyBuilds, Just Flight. Yeah, but like the detail on the seats, like this is insane. It is absolutely insane. And we'll spend more time in the cockpit figuring it all out, but I just wanted to show you the details. It is one of the most it is the most visually stunning combat aircraft in the sim. No two ways about it. It's gorgeous. And like, these are things you'd never see. They've even put in like the soundproofing and padding and thermal layer stuff into the back of the canopy. Like, it's crazy, you know. Colonel Fork paid about $50 for the bundle. Yeah, in and around that. So many pew pews. You've no idea. So speaking of the pew pews, look at this. So if you want to display in front of the aircraft all your ordnance, you know, here it is. You have a button on the tablet that'll actually show you all the ordnance that this aircraft is capable of carrying. I mean, if that doesn't like give you an instant BeJanie, then what will? Look at that, look. Not incredible? You get really cool screenshots of this. And it actually allows you to get in and start looking at some of these modules as well, and what they are. You know, these are things that goes bang, you know. Elric, yeah, not into fighters, but it's beautifully modelled. Yeah. Not all at the same time, though. No, absolutely not. But it just goes to show these are the different options of armament that the aircraft can carry. Isn't it mad looking, isn't it? That's a lot of freedom right there, right? Like, it's very, very impressive, isn't it? That's an expensive parking lot. Right, we'll get rid of those. Welcome to the cockpit. We'll adjust our time of day so we're not absolutely... because I want to show you the textures and stuff, right? So we'll do something like this. And then I'll change them when we go fly it just to see it. So looking around the cockpit, the modelling and texture work in here, it's every bit as good as what we saw outside. It is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular, right? And look at the seats. Like, they put, you know, like, hello. It's just amazing. They've done a great job. Beautiful work on the glass of the canopy. Fingerprints where you would expect fingerprints, right? Absolutely insane looking. And then we'll have the systems. Anyone who flies AzurPoly aircraft, you know, they come with that tablet, which is always nice to see. So we'll be having a look at this here now in a moment, right? So in our tablet, we have the aircraft. This is where we can remove before flight, open and close the canopy, load state, connect to GPU, all this kind of stuff. Next, then you have other visual options. Display a smaller EFB or a large one. Show or hide the yoke. Pilot view. Pilot rest position. Mirror seat reflections. Mirror seat reflections, I think so. Afterburner on throttle axes or by a button. The heat blur intensity, like the afterburner DDEN. We have a lot of options with this. All right. We can view our fuel. We can go into our loadout. So I'm going to put back on the loadout that I wanted. And you'll see look at it honker down with all the weight, look. Isn't that mad, isn't it? It just honkers down. Right? Now, this is where this thing gets absolutely friggin' nuts. We have the targeting system. And what we can do here, it says spawn, type. And this is going to read your community folder for every aircraft that you have. And you can literally spawn said aircraft, right? So let's say, I don't know, Coronado B200. What livery do you want us to spawn? And then you can give it its flight level, its airspeed, the heading, and do you want to be in dogfight mode where it's going to be fighting against you? You click spawn and that airplane is now airborne. And you can track it and shoot it down. You can actually shoot it down. Madness. Like madness what we can do, right? We also get a moving map and then we get some information then on the bottom as well. All right? So what we're going to do, well, we're going to put some power into this machine and have a listen to its sounds and how it behaves. And if you guys have any questions or you want to see us something, just let me know. So I'm going to remove the covers, the ladder and the chocks, right? And everything else I look after myself from our position in here. So we'll go for the canopy and have a listen to the sounds. Click the button, Murph. Okay, so there is our canopy now closed, right? And we're going to go into getting the aircraft into action. This is going to be fun. So down here, bottom left-hand corner, this is our main electrical panel that we're going to be looking after. So you can currently see it's switched in the down position to off. We're going to bring it over to the right-hand side where we can see battery and standby. And we have a bit of power now coming into some of our avionics. You can hear the fans and all the jazz. We're going to immediately start with the APU. Do we like the sounds? That's just the APU. How nuts is that? Right, so a couple of things we want to get set up with our aircraft. I'm going to align our IRSs here. So we'll start the alignment process. Need to keep the aircraft fully parked, right? Next up, we're going to move along and let me see. Fuel warning. Fuel shut-off valves are off. Formation lights, go ahead and turn these on. Nav lights, make sure that they're on. Strobes, leave them off for the moment. We also have interior lights, console light, overhead light. We have tons of lights in this airplane. Left-hand side, that's all okay for the emergency backup power. We shall now move to the right side. We can have a look here. Generator safety, we'll stick it on. In behind a lot of these panels, we also have more. This is all our bleed air, defrog, all this. And you'll find anywhere that you see like different colors, we know that there is additional buttons in behind here. All right. So that's where they live. So let's go for an engine start on this machine. What do we reckon? We'll put our power now to normal, right? And next up is going to be a startup on our engine. So all these screens, these are all touchscreen. So for example, we can look at our engine information. We can look at our miscellaneous. We can go into our hydraulics and we can go into our fuel. Now we are getting a fuel warning. So where can I do that now? Fuel gauge. That's okay. We'll go back. And that'll keep us honest. So we're going to wait for that alignment. Now we're going to go and start up the aircraft itself. And to do this, we're going to start the right engine first, and let's see what happens. That's the you muppet. That was the wrong engine. I pressed the wrong gadget. Right, it turned off. Let's try that again. There we go. Right side, N2. I hope I didn't forget anything here. Takes a moment. There we go. Hey Jimbo, thanks for the follow. N2, wait till we get to 30 and then it's fuel in. There's fuel. N1. Pretty nice, right? Okay, let's see, can we go with engine left side? Takes a moment. N2 is starting to come up. We're waiting for about 30% and then we'll introduce some fuel. There's 20%. 30. Yeah, the mirror's cool, GotFriends, isn't it? Okay, so our next warning is going to be our flight controls. We'll worry about that in a minute. We're still not aligned yet, so we continue on as is. We will turn off our APU. And now we're going to do our flight control test. Over here, we have a button for this. we're going to come down to our flight control test. This is going to be a go, no go. So we lift the guard and we're just going to do a short test. And what happens here is you'll see the go, no go flop. But if you look at the aircraft surfaces, you'll actually see these guys moving. It's testing its own flight control, making sure that the aircraft is ready to rock. Once we get the green light to say go, our test is complete. Switch off and close the guard. The aircraft is now pretty much ready to rock from a flight control. We can also see that we have aligned our IRSs, which is perfect. So what we want to look at here is some of the different systems. So what we can do, we can interact with all the different systems using this area here. If we want to have a look at our weapon systems, we just click on weapon systems, and this is where we can see what's armed on the aircraft. And we can mess around with this. We've got different settings, we can select, we can get more information, and we can go into our targeting for this as well. Some of the other buttons that we have, I need to do a lot more exploring, but we do have autopilot on this as well. We do have, we have tons of stuff here. You can program things in. Update, look at our air-to-air comm frequencies, international friend, or this is going to be our squawk, so we'll horse in 7,000. It's on standby, mode 1 or mode 3. Mode Charlie is what we want, and that should be alive. AS Master Arm. So imagine the IDF is this is basically your weapon systems. I want to show you something cool here. On the nose of the airplane, and don't worry, we'll rev it up here now so you can hear it, right? Hey Chunky, good to see you, buddy. No idea what we're doing or what we're talking about. I just want to know if I can do a backflip. Oh, can this do a backflip? So see your cameras here, right? If I save this as a quick view, because I want to show you this in action. Can we add a view? How do we add? Create a camera. I don't add a group, I just want to create a camera. Nose. No, that's a group. Right, we'll figure this out. Anyway, keep your eye on these two guys here, because if we were to turn that off, I wonder what can I do from here? No, I've got to do it from here. We change it to AS mode, or if we turn it off, and you see it there just in front of our hood? If I turn it off, these systems close down and just out of the way. So it's like your weapon system is no longer on. Like, that's the detail here, right? That is the detail. What else we want to do here now? So we'll go back to nav. On our main display here, this is pretty awesome. So we can move this map around. Click move and we can move it around, right? Center it. And brings us back. And we can identify what's here. We can zoom in, zoom out. And we can have a look at some of the different screens. So we have map. And we get tons of other details on this as well. Terrain, all the jazz. All right. How do we change this? There we go. Over on the right hand side, again, miscellaneous. Here's our engines, miscellaneous systems. Hydraulics are up and running. Check our fuel, because we want to keep an eye on this, and so on. So that's all looking good. We can see total fuel down here at the bottom right. What else do we have? It's the wrong button completely. We also, let me see here now, we also want to put on our strobes. And we want to put on our taxi lights, which is this guy here. And we'll see that we have our taxi lights on, just like what you get in your car. Not mad. So what we're going to do, because I think we're ready for a bit of flyage, we're going to take off in this machine. Wish me luck now, lads, will you? You know. And the views, of course. Now this thing is loaded to the absolute gall danglies. And an issue you're going to have, the flight model. So I also want to turn on my landing lights here. See your lights here in the front? We have a taxi light on so far, just one single light. Need to get my landing light on. Let me do that. There's a way to do this. Right, so there's the taxi lights. How do we get the landing lights on? There we go.
I put the car in front of me.
Oh, Creo, thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. 5 gifted tier 1 subs going out here to Twitch. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Creo, do be sure to say thank you. What a legend, man. Hey, Matt, good to see you, buddy. Thanks very much, man. Welcome in. Alright, taxiing down here. We'll get ourselves turned around and then be a lift off. This is Kalymnos as well from Simulations. We'll come back here in a moment, have a proper look. But right now, this is all Rafale. I will do Colonel Fork, absolutely, buddy. Alright, got ourselves turned around. Alright. Get ourselves lined up. Wish me luck. So we're going to need burners on takeoff because we're savage heavy on this one, right? So we'll hold position. Mind your ears because it's going to get loud. Alright, power coming in. And we're rolling. Speed live. Yep, see Daisy. Jesus. Alright, watch our angle of attack, let the speed build. And it's just a pure weight of the aircraft. It's savage heavy. Need we say any more? Right. Alright, off the burners. And we'll try and calm it down a little bit. And because we're carrying so much ordnance, the airplane is reacting very, very sluggishly. It's the weight, right? And what we can do, we can get rid of that weight. Right. Let's get rid of some of this weight. Wish me luck. Stores. Now, what were me buttons? Can anyone remember what I used? try this one, Murph. So, machine guns. Right. Right, I've run out of machine guns already. Brilliant. All right, so IDF. Go to a weapon and select cell from the bottom to select jettison. Yeah, you can jettison them. Yeah. Now she can do other things. Let's see here now. We'll bring the lighting down a bit, will we? Just to make it look terribly fancy. Because the lighting inside this aircraft, gorgeous. Now, from outside, we'll do one of these. Like, you can just have ridiculous amounts of fun with this. And yeah, like the lighting on this thing, man, it's friggin' superb, isn't it? What a machine. And then with some of the other weapons, I'm not going to go too far into the weapons, I mean, because I don't know how to do it yet, let's be fair, right? I know we can inject aircraft, we can target aircraft, there's dogfighting mode, but I'll probably spend about an hour trying to figure it out. We can jettison our ordnance. We can also launch our ordnance, and there is a full targeting system built into the aircraft, right? But for now, hopefully this is enough to get you airborne, up and moving, and just listen to some of these sounds, man. See the shakes and vibrations? Yeah. I don't think I can shoot you down. You can shoot it down. Alright, bring our speed up. Now, actually, watch. If I bring the speed down, see the way it has me covered?
Landing gear.
So the aircraft is telling me, or if you want to sort this problem out fairly quick,
Landing
right?
gear.
So we'll go full power with burners. I mean, this is a toy, this one, isn't it? This is absolutely superb. So in terms of supersonic, it is capable, but I think it's important your ordnance is also configured for that as well, right? I think. Like, the sounds are absolutely friggin' nuts, lads. Yeah, so if we want to jettison some ordnance on this, we can. Stores, jettison, jettison, and jettison. Off they go. Someone's going to have an expensive day, right? But look how more agile she is with the weight gone. Look, like nuts, nuts. Get her speed back up here again, and like this will absolutely go supersonic now. Alright, speed 500. It's all very nice up here, isn't it? The sounds, Jesus. It's so much fun, lads. Like, look at all the visual effects when you're doing high maneuvers. If we can get a camera angle that can look at it. Right now, give it a second. You'll see like the vapor trail and the vortexes and all that. Like, it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It is a great machine. Right, back to the airport. So imagine if the Irish got this instead of the Gripen. Gripen is pretty good. Right, let's head back to the airport and see what happens. Oh, icing. It's very, very pretty. Like, to be fair, you would never get any work done ever in the history of ever again. You know what I mean? Now the question is, lads, can we, can we land this? We'll bring it in for a landing and let us see what happens. Easy now. There's a runway. I haven't landed this yet now, so this could be like when Murph land before running out of fuel. Yeah, I think there's like automatic fuel tank switching in this as well. Right, landing lights are on. About 240 knots. We'll get down the road here a little bit and let's see what we can do. Easy now. Would you see the solar eclipse from Greece? It'll be night time. Hey, Fornax, good to see you. All right. Speed brakes. Hear the sound. Those canards just whoop, straight up. Gear coming out. I haven't landed this yet, lads, so this could be like, I don't even know if there's a shoot. We'll figure this all out together. It looks so slow now. Steiny, good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. Yeah, I've no idea. Landing configure. Jesus! Steiny, you mad devil! 10 gifted tier 1 subs going out right here on Twitch. Steiny, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you've got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Steiny, do be sure to say thank you. The man is a legend. Jesus, why am I landing into the sun, you muppet? Now the good news is it picked up the runway for me. See that? I'm actually getting that green dot on my heads-up display for the runway. That's mad, Ted. There's systems at play here. I need to learn them. I don't know now what's going to constitute a good landing. One that I don't explode, I suppose. Yeah, right. Easy now. You seem nice and slow. The happy are somewhat happy. We'll take it. A Navy landing, but we'll take it. Oh, she doesn't like heavy braking. Awesome. This thing is so good. On a scale of 1 to 10, this thing is Jesus. Oh, don't tip it over. Remember, it's a Delta wing. Yeah. What a machine. This is now available in the marketplace. You can pick this up right now. It's available in the marketplace. If you don't want to get it on the in-sim marketplace, just wait a couple more weeks, it'll be available. Also, if you want the weapons, as in the functionality, you need to download a patch from the AzurPoly website. Alright? Otherwise, you can look at them, but they don't do anything. You know what I mean? What a machine, though. It's just... like, what an achievement from AzurPoly, I think. Alright, bring her to a gentle stop. Alright, park and brake on. Lights off. Let me see, APU, we won't bother, we'll have a GPU. And let's go fuel off. Isn't it something?
Hydraulics failure. Hydraulics failure.
Yeah, that's all right.
Failure.
Now it says mechanic show. I don't know how we do that, but there we have it, lads. The AzurPoly Dassault Rafale for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It is an absolute behemoth of an aircraft. It looks great, it sounds great, and it flies great. And the systems with this machine are absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. In actual fact, it doesn't look right without armament. Rearm there now, Betsy. Yup, you divot you. Now we are talking. It was my first day on the job. We just mattered, you know, we jettisoned all the stuff. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts? Do we like? I mean, do we like or do we like? It's absolutely incredible. Liveries are very, very nice, yeah. So while we're here, lads, we've two more aircraft to look at. We're going to have a quick look here at the scenery, because this is from Simulations, and it is that of Kalymnos here in Greece, right? We actually flew over this island, or close to this island, yesterday on our flight. So Simulations, I've been following these guys since they started making scenery in Microsoft Flight Sim. And I got to say, their sceneries are gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of what these guys do. This scenery itself, it's available. Where's the button, Murph? You can pick it up over on Anybills. Kalymnos or Kalymnos. And it's, where is it now? It's 8, well, without taxes. It's about €12, right? About €12, or about 14 US dollars. Now, if this is something you do want to pick up, I invite you, if you want to use my link down below for Anybills, that'll give you the link to the store where you can buy this airport. But it's absolutely beautiful. It's the national airport of the island, a small, unique airport nestled down between the rugged mountains and blue waters of the Aegean Sea. Detailed recreation of the airport, fully modelled interior, detailed ATC control tower. We also have the port and surroundings included, realistic night lighting and custom ground textures. I gotta say, it's very, very nice, isn't it? It's very, very nice. Some of the I mean, what a location for an airport. You know, like look at the surrounding setting. Isn't this beautiful? Beautiful. We'll bring up the time of day so we can make it look a little bit more natural. There we go. So we've plenty of details inside here in the control tower. It's fully modelled. You can have an old gawk around. And just surrounding the air, like what a gorgeous place, isn't it? So it's a national airport. It's quite a small airport. ATRs, I suppose. And then we have the terminal over here then as well. With the peoples. The peoples be watching. Around the side here, it's kind of mad the way it's laid out, isn't it? It's very mad. It's just mad the way it's all laid out. That's the road outlook. I was wondering where you get to the road. But they've also included the surrounding buildings, which is nice to see, look. It's a nice touch. There's a bus heading up over yonder. And they've also included then some more scenery. Look, there's different landmarks down the island. They also included the port below here as well. It's a cheap and cheerful scenery, do you know? But yeah, like, look where we are. Like, look at the views here, man. This is absolutely gorgeous. What a place to go flying. This is going to provide our backdrop for this evening because we're going to now check out our next aircraft, which is the Taylorcraft from GotFriends, which I'm very excited about as well. So that was the Rafale. I hope you enjoyed it, lads. If you have any questions on it, do let me know. And yeah, as I said, I think this is definitely an aircraft that should be on your shopping list. Because it's freaking gorgeous, right? It's gorgeous. Right. Let's go check out more aircraft, shall we? So the Taylorcraft, this is currently pre-release. GotFriends are aiming to release this soon. With the aircraft, on final release, it's going to be a number of different variants. This is a beautiful general aviation aircraft. It's like it's a classic designed aircraft, the Taylorcraft. It looks very similar to what you'd have back in the day of maybe like a Piper Cub or even an L4 Grasshopper. This was very much a civilian marketed one. The different variants we get a classic, a backcountry, we get winter, which is fitted with skis, and we also have a seafarer as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, right? So we're going to go for an L flight in this, and I'm going to keep it in the classic configuration with the wheel pans on, because it's very similar to that of what you'd see from a Cub, right? It's a beautiful machine. Liveries, as you can see, I'll let them load up. GotFriends doing an amazing job. They have a ton of different liveries built into the project already, and we'll have to see if there'll be more added, or even see what the community are going to do after release. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of cool ones there for sure. I like kind of the cut of this one, so we're going to use that. So we'll ramble in, use the same airport, and we'll set the time to daytime. And we'll go in and have a quick look. So the Taylorcraft, right? Apart from what we get with the airplane in terms of the history and the modelling and how well it looks, this is an airplane that GotFriends, I think, have once again done something quite mad. They did it before with the Norden being able to change liveries on the fly. This one, well, you'll see what I mean. When we talk about the level of customization that's available on this aircraft, I've always wished we had aircraft that were more, they allowed it to feel like it was your airplane. You actually feel like you own the airplane because it's so customizable. You can absolutely have it to your own configuration. And I got to say, the Taylorcraft, it has that in spades. Like, it has tons of different character that you can set this airplane up to be exactly what it is you want it to be. And I love that. I absolutely love it. But it's not just, look, it's a pretty little GA airplane. There's all sorts of cool stuff because it has what GotFriends called reactive motion. Now, reactive motion, we've covered this on the news for some time. Basically, inside when we're flying along, the little handles move around. We have a furry dice that moves around. There's physics-based motion of the aircraft itself, and it is so immersive. Other aircraft feel kind of hollow now when you experience something like this. It is quite superb, right? We also have a craft pad, which is basically the EFB. different ways to fly that we looked at, and then we just have unbelievable detail. And I mean unbelievable detail. We're in walk around mode. We'll get out of that. We're going to jump into the cockpit, and as you can see, everything moves. See, like the little handles here, right? Our little furry dice, right? And just the general hack of the aircraft. I mean, look at the detailing here. Isn't this superb? This is beautiful. You can hold 50 pounds of weight in the back, right? Your lunch. And just look at the textures here. Isn't that superb, lads? Absolutely gorgeous. There's tons of character in this thing. So what I want to show you, because this is where the thing really does kind of sing, right? We can utilize the craft pad, and like I love the little Easter eggs and stuff in behind it. GotFriends. Isn't that class? Isn't it? Isn't it deadly? Isn't it? What we have here, we can customize this machine just to a ridiculous amount. So yeah, we can use the 2024 walk around mode. We can go around and you know, press buttons, and we get our door open here. Tablet goes out, hop out the plane, and we can interact removing our pitot covers and flags and prop spinner covers and all the jazz. We can do all of these things, or you can do them from directly inside the craft pad as well, right? So I got a door closed, and again, the sounds on this thing are beautiful. So let's have a look here. So the wheel chocks, go ahead and remove those. Now we can do mad things. Let's go ahead and open the engine cowling and our fuel. And again, we can do all this manually as well, right? Like, look at the detail. Isn't that something else? Absolutely gorgeous. We can see where the where our oil goes. And you see all your various different your levels and whatnot. And for fuel as well. What's pretty amazing about this plane, if you forget to do a thing, you could have an issue in the air. Because it'll remember it, right? It'll remember it. Doors will open, things move around. It gets absolutely nuts. We also have this ground adjustable propeller, so it selects the static prop pitch preset when the aircraft is on the ground. We're going to keep it on standard, but you do have some different options here for the likes of stall, climb, utility, cruise, all that. Basically how the pitch of the prop is, right? Moving to the appearance. This is where we get to customize things. So we can have our wheel pans, a prop spinner, our reg number. We can put in a hunting bow and deer antlers, and they appear on the wing. There's our bow. There's our antlers. Just gives you that kind of backcountry kind of, you know, let's put a bit of drag on the plane. We also have our pilot yoke, co-pilot yoke, and a fuzzy dice if you want your fuzzy dice. I mean, this plane is basically made to bring, you know, man's best friend with you. The cargo appearance, modern boxes, we can actually change this to vintage bags or camping gear. And when we go ahead and add weight and balance to the aircraft, you'll see those populate inside the aircraft, which is just class. We also have the option here for aerobatic smoke. All right. Not released yet, Heisenberg. No, soon. This is coming soon. But I wanted to show you what you're expecting, because when you come across an aircraft like this, it's very hard to actually get the character of it. And there's loads of character with this plane. You'll see it now when we go flying. It's just a beautiful experience. So aircraft simulation. This is where the propeller hand starting. There's no starter button on this. Now we can turn that off if we wish, but we're going to leave it on. Now, I need to be able to start the prop and get back into the plane. And right. Anyway, realistic drag, realistic sloshing physics, right? Camera head motion, prop and latch failures. So if we're too hard or we're flying the plane, you know, beyond its limits, well, that latch could break and suddenly a friggin' canopy opens and, well, the crack would be there. Weather start conditions, yeah, why not? Primer simulation, why not? Carb heat for the crack. Headphone simulation, leave it off. And then we have additional equipment. So we can have a wet compass here, or if your preference is not to have it, well, you can turn it off. We can also put in an outside air temperature. We can put in an angle of attack indicator. And now we go into the avionics options. This is where we can customize this airplane to our heart's content. And this is what I meant by we can really make this our own airplane. For example, top left is currently an airspeed indicator. What if we didn't want an airspeed indicator there? And where we have, you know, the top center, our RPM gauge or tachometer, well, why don't we use that as an airspeed indicator? Isn't that absolutely class? We can move around the avionics or just turn them off if we don't want them. And for steam gauge, we haven't seen this before. Usually it's like, yeah, I can change out the GPS unit. What GotFriends have done here is we can actually do it with our steam gauges, meaning that, you know, depending on what way you want to fly the aircraft, you can add or take away. The same goes for additional ones when it comes to our oil pressure and temperature. And then we have our primary suites. This is a classic radio, no autopilot. This is what GotFriends have built. This is our radio. And I gotta love this, man. This is just class. But let's say, for example, well, no, look, I might put in, you know, a GNS 430 and a cap. You can put in GPS into this, right? Or we can go with the 750 or 650 from PMS or the other. We can go with a Sobus 650, or we can go with the 430 as well. So you have all these options. You have all these options. Or if you don't want that in there at all, just get rid of it. Right? So we've no autopilot. Secondary suites, ADF and transponder, or we can use a CDI and a HI with a transponder, or nothing. So you can make this thing, you know, way, way back in the day when it did, you know. And then our tablet, is it installed or removed? Well, let's install it. And you'll see now we'll get a tablet fitted onto the yoke. Isn't that pretty cool? If you want your tablet, I mean, you pretend it's your iPad and away you go, right? So you have all of these options. This is how you make the aircraft your own, I think. We've all these, like, you have loads of customizable options here. And then finally, we have our settings. So this is the craft pad, how big you want it to be. Do you want it to be paper? Do you want it to be classic? Do you want it on, you know, digital? You can just really mess this around. Tablet settings, you know, vibrations enabled. Is it on the yoke or do you want it on the co-pilot yoke? What software? Area navigation system. I didn't even notice that. Let's go back to avionics and get that tablet in. Is that, I wonder, is that area navigation system? I don't know what that is. Anyway, AOA callouts if you want them, if you have your AOA indicator. Vibration settings, and then you have a stall horn and then a suites layout. It requires avionics on. Okay, well, we'll check it out for the crack, right? So, battery, and have a listen to the sounds. There's our avionics. Is it just using like the Garmin one then, is it? Hang on, have a look. Oh, cool. Okay, right. So we can look at our map. That's a neat feature. That's very nice. I do like that. Well done, lads. I do like that. Right, let's see if we can get ourselves into trouble. Open this door because I'm going to need to hop out here in a second. So, fuel shut-off valve in. Carb heat, leave it alone. Primer will want mixture fully rich. Opener throttle. Opener... leave them alone. Primer. Prime the BJs is out of it. And see the way, even the simulation of the primer, see the way it was like nothing happening and then suddenly, oh, there's fuel pressure. See the way it slows down, look. Now to do this, clear prop. Do it right. Yes! Get back into me plane quick. There we go. There we go. Do you hear these sounds? These are amazing. Amazing sounds. Hey, Mr. TPHI is here. Good to see you. The sounds are just gorgeous, lads. Isn't that amazing? Tis absolutely gorgeous. They've nailed the sounds here, and it's so impressive, right? Right, so, Yara, we'll give it a bash and see what happens. Right, off the brake. Bit of movement. And yes, if you want noise cancellation, you can click on the mic, and you have it. Look at the wires under the dash. Oh, mother of Jesus. Look at the wires under the dash. Look at the vibrations. Look at the pulley system, look. Ah, that's ridiculous. Floating bush models have higher engine horsepower. Roger. Look at the details here. And little pedals, look. That's ridiculous. But what I want you to look at here now, right? Have a look at our little the handles here, and also our furry dice. See how they're all reacting? Isn't that amazing? Don't roll it, Murph. Now, we'll turn right this time because we're going to come down the hill. The attention to detail is amazing. And you're, like, you might be thinking, look, it's a really small little general aviation airplane. Lads, you haven't lived. Jesus, we're nearly taking off at this speed. This is just an amazing way to explore in Microsoft Flight Sim. Like, tis an amazing way. You know, a lot of the faster aircraft, you know, you're booting it over scenery. The jet, the Rafale, like, forget it. Oh, that looked nice then half an hour ago when we passed it. This is where you can just slow everything right down. And I love this. This style of flying is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Even the physics with tires, look. Right. So let's do a bit of flying and enjoy ourselves. Check out the physics. Don't mind my shock and flying. That's what you get for taking off in a tailwind. So it's the physics. Looking at everything move and come alive in this thing, right? And the sounds are insane. Look at those prop animations as well. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous.
Jesus.
Look at all the shakes and vibrations on the yoke.
Oh, behave.
This isn't dangerous at all. Oh Jesus, don't open door. There's enough wind pushing it back, but my door's opening. Jesus. There is a pink livery for it, Mrs. TPHI. You will be delighted to know. There absolutely is. Yeah, I think we can land here. With me doors open. But you hear the sounds of this thing, man. From 0 to this. Isn't that amazing? Awesome sounds. Then let's see, can we actually land this without causing an international, you know? And like, again, this is going to be aimed at the type of flying you want to do. Is it going to be as we are here now? Is it going to be something that you want to put on floats, skis, or even tundra tires? Like what we're doing now, we'd absolutely no problem with tundra tires. You know what I mean? Let's just see what happens here, right? We'll try and give ourselves a bit of a view of all the reactions of the physics here in the cockpit, right? I mean, it'll be grand, lads. Let's not worry about it. She'll be fine. Uphill landing as well. With the Janie. Nothing to see here. Look, the door's opening, look. Man, that was deadly. Did you see it? That was deadly. I wonder now if I increase the RPM, will that blow the doors? It does. That's ridiculous. The friggin' the prop blast can actually bring that's savage, man. Ah, that is fantastic. Look. So if we just add a little bit of RPM, those doors will just like. Isn't that deadly? Look. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. GotFriends, this is just... there's something special about this plane. There's just something special about it. I don't know what it is. It has character. It's the fact that it can be like this. We can put tundra on it, skis on it, friggin' floats on it, and we can customize it. Absolutely. Next landing, hit the ground really hard. Challenge accepted. I'm a simple man. Now, what if I close the doors properly? Right. Come on, Betsy. You can do a plane trying to get up a hill. All 106 horses. And the sounds from the little, what do they call these? Storm glass? Oh, Jesus, Murph, this is not to go well. Right, hang on. So you say a hard landing, eh? The Jaeger, good to see you. How hard are we talking? Oh, really hard. A Murph special, is it? Crash it like or try and land it? Easy, Murph. Oh, Jesus. Oh, mother engine! Oh! Medic! Ouch.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Yeah, baby.
Can I get a refund?
Go into walk around mode and click the prop. Listen, I can explain what happened, Your Honor. There was a seagull. Jesus, he was massive. No way!
Look at this big
Oh no! Come back! Come back, plane! Jesus, I didn't anticipate this. My plane is running away from me. It's like, no! We're not doing that again. You can shag off, pilot. Oh, look! Hang on! Physics! She'll roll forward now, look! Yes! Look! Come to Papa. That is fantastic, man. I love that. I absolutely love that. What a machine, lads. I cannot wait for you guys to experience this. The release date, it's coming soon. But what a cool little plane, man. This is so... It's just full of character. And when you have something like that sounds like this, it looks like this. Yes, our virtual hangars are full of all sorts of aircraft. All sorts.
Jesus.
But I can guarantee you there's nothing quite like this in it. I can guarantee it. You know? Overspeed, high G's, fly it right, or treat it like a fool. The prop failures at work. It's amazing. And the sounds. One careful owner. It got as far as the church and back. Amazing. It's amazing. GotFriends, exceptional work at this, man. Like, how do you make general aviation aircraft interesting enough that people feel compelled to say, I'm gonna do this? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. There's features here that just make it stand out.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Every time. I absolutely love it. Technology will follow our journey from now on. It's class, man. It really does add an element to the airplane. Knowing that you have all these physics, things moving, rattling, shaking. Yeah, decent aircraft developers would also include the sounds, but we never got a combination of sounds and things physically moving. It's very, very good. Awesome, awesome job. Amazing. We very much looking forward to the final release of this aircraft. As I said, it's coming soon. So yeah, lads, pints of Guinness emotes into the chat for GotFriends. This is friggin' brilliant. Can you imagine the flights we're going to get up to on this? And it's gorgeous as well. Like, look at the detail. Like, look at the state. It's gorgeous, man. Yeah, amazing, amazing work. It's just class. Like, a Taylorcraft... look, I found... What is this? Jonks, what does this do? Jesus, it was one of them. Don't blow a hole in the plane, no. I blew a hole in the plane! Ah, no! Ah, Jesus, I didn't even know that was there. Oh no, there's a hole in the side of me plane. It got gravel, yeah. Ah, Jesus. Right, we won't be playing with that again. Ooh. Where was that even hiding? It was under the seat. It was hidden back here.
Jesus.
I wonder, can I click on the prop again to fix it? No, we'll have to figure that one out. Ah, it's heart-shaped, so it loves it. Yeah. We just blew a friggin' hole in the side of the plane. I didn't mean to find that. There's a Minecraft part floating somewhere in the back now. Did Murphy just, like, you know, blow the cover off, like, what was to be an Easter egg, and now I've completely shagged it? You're gonna have to do something else now. It'll have to, you know, where will it explode next? Oh, we fixed it. Right, grand. We'll edit this out. No one saw it. Jeez. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well done, GotFriends. That was fantastic. And I did not mean... Listen, if it's in the plane, I'll find it and break it. That's what I do. That's what I do. Right. Our final add-on for this evening is that of a Lancair, which is this one. FlySimWare. Now, we had a look at this airplane before, and I was very impressed by it, right? But they've now updated it to include a steam gauge, right? A steam gauge. And I'm very, very excited to have a look at this, right? There's plenty more than one Easter egg. You didn't blow anything. Brilliant, brilliant. Right. Great news, great news. So FlySimWare, this aircraft is already available, and it just got an update a week or two ago. And what we have here is the new analog panel. And what I absolutely love about FlySimWare's aircraft... Well, okay. Wait till you see this panel. Is that not just the finest panel in the realm? Look at that. I think that is quite amazing. I think it's gorgeous. If I was ever going to have a real aircraft, that is the panel I would have. I think it is spectacular. Now, we have a load of different options. We can load this in, of course, with the glass. We can load it in with the G3X. But I think this is the perfect ratio between steam gauge and glass. It is absolutely incredible. And when we looked at this aircraft before, well, there is a lot going on here. It's not like your standard kind of small general aviation airplane, right? Oh yeah, loads of wood polish. Right, I want to show you, because the tablet for this aircraft, this is something new with FlySimWare. Because, lads, it has all of this stuff. Ground power, cabin lights, luggage, all the jazz. If we want to call fuel, we got to call a fuel truck, right? If we want to check out the maintenance page, look at all the detail when it comes to the maintenance on this aircraft. Top up the tires, refill hydraulics in the struts, replace bulbs, replace your brake pads. You can even wash the aircraft. This is all new technology from FlySimWare, and I got to say, lads, it's incredible. Plus, we have the failures page. Then we can go into the options page. Get rid of the headphone simulation for the minute. Then we have our bindings page. But where this airplane stands out, yes, the dash is absolutely incredible. But again, focus on the sounds here. We're going to take this from cold and dark, and we're going to start it up to give you a listen of it. And then I'll take off, and then I'll show you what this steam gauge looks like at night time, because it is excellent. Absolutely excellent. So, battery. Avionics. Avionics working. Navs, lights coming on. Fuel pump. Left tank. Prop full. Throttle open. And Mags. Clear prop. Now have a listen to the sound here, because on this variant of the aircraft we have door seals, and for the canopy, right? So if we wanted to open our canopy, have a listen to our door seal. Do you hear that difference? So the door seals are like this little membrane rather, that'll expand and block out and act as a seal. We have tons of functionality. Look at these, our CGRs, so we can change what these are showing us. And then we can even adjust what we're looking at. Isn't it only deadly? All our circuit breakers. Like, as I say, look, I think this cockpit, this panel, it is a thing of beauty, I think. Look at it, lads. Isn't that gorgeous? They have really done a good job here. So, we'll continue on. Landing lights. Yeah, we'll go terrain. And let's see what happens. Now, Lancair, it's a two-seater, right? It's not a big airplane. But man alive, is this thing fast. We'll probably get airborne by here. Let's give it a bash. Flaps. We could be lucky. Off the brakes. Up a hill as well, lads. The power of this thing. And the sounds. So as we're flying along, it's similar to a sling, especially from inside it, right? Avidyne as well, yes. You can use a G3X, you can use the Avidyne system. You can select all this from the main menu. This is where you select your aircraft and all the avionics it has. I'm a huge fan of a GTN 750 combined with your steam gauges, but you can absolutely use the Avidyne system and it works really well. So, Digital Merc, yeah, Commander sounds are really good as well. Oh yeah. Think of it, this thing has far more power, lots more power. But let's check out some of the lighting here, shall we, right? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And again, we even have wigwag lights. And you can see those lights on the screen, look. The lighting on this airplane is exceptional. It's just a really nice place to sit. Like, look at the lighting, lads. Isn't that superb? It's beautiful. And if steam gauge isn't your thing, you can absolutely use the glass. I don't know where we see the eclipse this far back. Yeah, you won't see it here. We'll load up in Shannon, actually. We'll see it in Shannon. But isn't the lighting superb, isn't it? So we get different variants of the aircraft, different panel configurations. There's a whole lot going on here with the FlySimWare Lancair Legacy. This is an awesome airplane. Absolutely awesome. The aircraft is available over on the developer's website. Where be you now? FlySimWare. FlySimWare. Like, look at our speed here. This plane can absolutely haul ass. This will fly comfortably at about 230 knots. Easily. Like, that is madness. So let's look at the store. Where are you? So the Lancair is $46.99. So it's not a bad price. Racing Legleys do 400 miles an hour. Oof. But like, isn't this gorgeous? It's a superb aircraft. Absolutely brilliant. So that was the update I wanted to show you. We'll go back into the menu because I'll show you the different variants, and this is where you can customize the aircraft from the menu screen. So if we go into configure here, and this is where you can really mess around with it. This is how FlySimWare present this to you. You'll see that you have the legacy analog, or you can go with the G3X, and you can see all the different combination of dashboards with the panel layout. Like, it's gorgeous. All the different panels. It's a superb looking panel, and you've like loads of different options, and there's the Avidyne system in there as well, which is brand new to the sim, I think, isn't it? Avidyne, as Chunky was saying, it's his go-to for learning that aircraft. It's really, really cool. So I think for our last little trick, we'll ramble over to Shannon, because this is where we saw the solar eclipse. So we'll load into Shannon. I'm going to make the time of day to when there was a solar eclipse. Around there. Avidyne is new. Yeah, yeah. Every plane is getting better and better. Yeah, it like, there are incredible things. Zaragoza, Spain. Sorry, Roy, didn't think of it. I'll clear the weather here as well so we can see the solar eclipse. Which again has to be said, isn't it brilliant that the sim can model all this? Isn't it mad? Mad, Ted. Mad. Right. Weather. Go away with the... There we go. Get rid of all the weather. See how dark it got? Now, friends, if you missed the solar eclipse today, there there it is right now. Not mad? Isn't that mad? Now, is that going?
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Is that coming or going? Okay, so it's going the right direction. So we'll start it off something like that. Isn't it mad looking, isn't it? Don't look at it without your special glasses, right? Isn't that incredible we can do this in the sim? It's absolutely mad, lads, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. But yeah, the sim is crazy when you can do things like this. It really is. It really is. And even like, look how dark it is everywhere else. Look. Look at the impact it's having. The lighting. Isn't it gorgeous? Hey, Flying Winnebago's here. Good to see you, bud. It is quite superb. The full eclipse was Iceland all the way down to Spain. Ooh, nice. So that's doing a thing. We can use science. There we go. And we follow it down the road. Stupid clouds. Stupid Ireland with your stupid clouds. Shag off, clouds. There we go. Like, look how dark it is now. Like, mad, isn't it? You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Can I get a refund?
No, there's no refunds. Shag right off. It's pretty cool. Got the Ursa Minor side stick throttle pack mounted. Now the burning question, Moby Flight or Sima Pro? Ooh. Ooh. You'll probably end up using both, I'd say. Do you know? You'll probably use both. But there you are. If you missed the solar eclipse today, well, so you can relive it in Microsoft Flight Sim. How cool is that? Absolutely deadly stuff. Deadly stuff. Isn't it mad the way it simulates it, like? How cool is that? And it's moving. I'd love to see if the Corona's also check that out tomorrow. It's just mad what you can do in the sim. It really, really is. Absolutely savage. But anyway, lads, that's going to do it for tonight. I want to thank you also very, very much indeed for tuning in, keeping me company. It was a busy one today. Hope you enjoyed it. The Dassault Rafale from AzurPoly, the beautiful upcoming Taylorcraft from GotFriends, the Lancair Legacy, and of course the Simulations Kalymnos Airport over in Greece. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. So hopefully what you saw tonight, it will help you inform your own decision. There's no affiliate links. Well, there is one for any builds. If you want to buy any of the stuff that we're looking at, the likes of the simulation scenery, that's over on the INI Builds website. But my job here is not to sell. My job is to let you know, hey, this is what it's all about. And if you have any questions about how an add-on is, how it performs, how it looks, all the kind of jazz, that's how this works, do you know? So yeah, we did, Roy. It's on their website. It's on their YouTube channel. You'll see it there. We had a great chat with Brian. Really great chat with Brian. Covered lots of mileage, you know. So we're back to you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Zulu in the morning, and we're going to be in X-Plane. Ooh, we're checking out the brand new DR400, a Robin DR400 from Just Flight, along with Thranda. And we'll be doing some on-air with that as well as we check out and explore some X-Plane. Then tomorrow night we have a VATSIM flight, and then on Friday night we have a group flight. What am I doing on Friday? I keep forgetting what I have to do. Stream schedule. Ah yes, we're taking the Commander for a spin across the Alps. Ooh. And then we'll see what the crack is. Also, next Monday, lads, we won't be starting our new series next Monday. We'll probably start it the week after. We've another job this coming Monday, but I'll keep you up to date with that over the weekend. All I can say is bring something fast, very fast, for an upcoming flight happening on Monday of next week. But anyway, I'm away. Lads, thanks a million for all the support, all the likes, subscribes, follows, and the general acting to be Janie then. Thank you very, very much indeed. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, you take care. Engines are now off. I've just killed the mixture. Right? Watch this. Mags are off. Feather boat props. My engines are now completely off, right? And I'll know they're completely off because I'm going to keep an eye on the props. They will just stop, right? Engine 1 stopped. Engine 2 stopped. That's the sound I should hear. This is the sound I do hear. What? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? We need to clip this. Hey, Coronado, Microsoft, Nasobo. 3 lads walk into a bar. This is how the sound should be. I've turned off my engines. However, if there's other aircraft of the same description flying from the Coronado fleet, this is what we hear. Hey, don't be that curious. It's not, no! Oh! Did you see what happened to Kane? He just bounced off it. Please, somebody clip just that. Kane Lafford flew into the side at 100. Holy crap. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. We're going in, that's it. There's no turning back at this stage. Jesus, mind the bears. Look at this big E just. Oh no, we're at the dying.